All right, here we go. DJ Akademiks. Welcome back to VladTV.
What up, Vlad?
Trying to recover from last night's NBA YoungBoy show.
Yeah, Vlad, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think when I offered, I'm like, yeah, you wanna come to YoungBoy show with me?
Yeah.
And you say, yeah. I was like, all right. So remember, I was supposed to have, usually when I'm at Prudential, for like most events, like we have a suite. So I'm like, all right, cool. We could just watch from the suite. Because when I go to a YoungBoy show, it's like hands-on.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily we're just like tucked away. I mean, I could, but I look at them, they're like my family. So I'm back there, I'm meeting people, but anybody could be back there too, right? They don't really mess with too many people, but you know, also it could get a little hectic. There's a lot of young dudes back there, you know, and they're doing a lot.
And older dudes too.
No,
and we'll get into this part of the story. But before we get into that, Cardi B just had a phone call with Ice Spice's manager leaked.
Yeah.
She actually apologized for talking about Lotto.
Yeah.
But I guess she thought she was on a private phone call, and I guess Ice Spice's manager went and leaked this, and now it's out there in the world. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out where this is from, because I guess Cardi thinks that Ice Spice dissed her on some song, but it's not really a diss, it's like a sneak diss, she thinks?
Yeah, well, usually these artists know. I mean, an artist gonna know better than you, right? So it's like, what the fans don't realize a lot of times, a lot of things are happening in the background. They even hear records before us. So sometimes we might hear something and be like, yo, you're just wilding out. I'm not saying certain times artists don't wild out, but she probably knew there might be a little jab there, a little sneak diss. And yeah, you know, Cardi, one thing I do like about her, shit, she gonna attack it directly, immediately. So, hey, I'm gonna give her kudos for her not bringing it online, but she gonna handle that problem. That problem was that, and again, listen, we all humans, right? If you see certain people, like I always tell people that, yo, me and Cardi, when we first started talking, we got into it. Never, you know why we have a great relationship now? Because she could have just went online and be like, yo, this bitch ass nigga Akademiks, but she said, yo, let me go talk to you, and our conversation, no matter how it goes, let's see if we can figure it out there. And yeah, that conversation was disrespectful at first, and then it got to a respectful place. But we kept it private. So when that happens and people ain't involved, you can resolve issues. Now, once it's online, you can't resolve it. Because, yo, the fans is looking at you like, I know you're not pussy. I know you're not about to let this motherfucker say this, right? Like even this Lotto stuff. And this is what Thug was going through. Like, Thug's phone call leak. Honestly, I wish he would have just kind of stood on it a little bit more, but he was on an apology tour a little bit. Cardi said, yo, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. She a roundabout way apologized to Lotto, but it's not like, oh my God, I'm sorry. No, she said, hey, yeah, that's what I said, but I'm cool with you. Because that's what we all do as humans. I hate that the internet made the Young Thug thing seem like he was a monster for using and talking about people, or the idea of pillow talking. Like, put it like this, yo, put it like this. If I'm talking to somebody, right, or I say somebody have a viral moment on your show, they have a viral moment on your show, and I don't know, they curse you out and kick over the table and walk out, right? That person come to my show, right? Or before they even come to my show, say I'm arguing with them, and they be like, yeah, I'm gonna do your show. And we having the same conversation. I'm like, nigga, you're not gonna do me like Vlad? That's not me dissing, right? Like, we can't take everything as a diss. Like, and these are Nicki fans, because Nicki fans are in the midst of this. They want other people to squabble Nicki's beef versus Cardi. And actually, I don't really mess with Nicki like that, but I like how she been calling out Roc Nation recently. I can't cap. But Nicki gonna have to handle her fair one with Cardi. This like third party beef, let me throw Ice Spice in the mix. Yo, Lotto, you ain't hear what she said? I seen there was captioning that Meg Thee Stallion was dissed in that. I ain't hear that. So really, she mentioned Lotto. Why is that relevant? It's an analogy. Yo, I'm not Lotto. Lotto, when they were having their back and forth, came in New York, shot up video, and then cooler heads prevail.
Yeah, and they did a song together.
Yeah, cooler heads prevail. Cardi is trying to say, nigga, I'll knock your head off. Like, I'm not trying to be cool with you.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not trying to be cool with you at all.
Yeah, I just want to say, from a human point of view, Cardi is full-blown pregnant right now.
Yeah, she
Having
is.
these types of meltdowns, could end in a damn miscarriage. Okay? She's in a fragile time for a woman right now. Losing your shit.
Well, we don't know when this audio was. Do we know?
We don't.
I
But
think she's in her soft girl era right now. She in her soft girl era.
You think?
I hope.
Yeah, because, Nicki, I guess, has been tweeting about her. Has been doing some posts and deletes. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, surgery to look like me. Tell that rat and tell GZ, RICO fraud and perjury.
I'm going to be honest with you. That back and forth recent is like nasty. Like, I'm glad that, respectfully, I'm glad that they're women. Because the stuff they're saying to each other, if it was dudes, you gotta see this person about it. Respectfully, if it was two rappers who talk spicy and they're saying some of the stuff, they're talking about dead babies, or I don't know if you want to call it babies, abortions. They're talking about this. You do this to your body, you're off this type of drug. Like they're putting out some really crazy. Your brother's a pedophile. Like,
Cardi responded. She said, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Your man have to snatch pussy. Pussy tastes like honeycomb. Your bro be touching 12-year-olds.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad they're females. Even though I'm gonna be honest with you, if you really see how all this aligns, like with the ancillary parties, I'm always surprised that nothing extra ever happened. Like for example, again, we're not talking about whatever he was accused of, but if you know who Nicki's husband is, this is why Nicki frequently uses him like, yo, you want to see about my husband, right? He's a guy who's, supposedly a decorated, member out here. And then, you know how Cardi's rocking with it. Cardi wear it on her sleeve that she a gang member. So, you know what I mean? Like, it could get messy depending on, and I'm glad it's never been that, at least from my knowledge. But when you kind of look at it like this, it could have always been collateral damage at some point, because these are two people who, they're up hundreds of millions of dollars, but they're carrying on this feud and it's been happening for years now.
I don't think that Nicki's husband is going to do anything. Honestly, I don't think he is. He is in the best position of his life, and he's not going to mess that up.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be him.
He's not going to crash out. He's not going to attach himself to a crash out, because people connect the dots. And they come back. Once those people get caught and start facing real jail time, they'll say, so-and-so put me up to it.
Vlad, let me tell you this, and I guess crash out ain't got no age too. Vlad, I ran into one of them niggas who was in that video that they made at Offset. Like, because I remember I was clowning in there. I was having a good time. I was like, yo, I noticing these geriatric goons like that's looking for Offset, because like when you saw them, it was like they gonna get mad at me again. I was like, these dudes probably have like knee braces and need like some Bengay after like a long night. Like, yo,
Bengay.
Yo, they were staying out of a hotel. They're like, yo, where's he at? I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So anyway, I ran into one of them at the Barclays, and you know what he said? He said, listen. He's like, listen, forget that age shit. I'm active out here. And I believe him. I really do believe him. So, man, whatever their situation is, I know to you, it might just be like, well, of course, I don't think Nicki's husband's going to do anything. But I do think somebody who's ancillary enough is like, they're down to crash out. And that's who you always got to worry about, right? Because sometimes, if it's the actual people in the moment, cooler heads could prevail. But shoot, you've seen even last night, even at YB tour, you got to separate him. But the person you got to worry about is like the other 200 YNs that's running around. They feel like they're doing his work, If somebody say something, it's a what? They can't let it go, right? So again, obviously, I think that situation, Nicki mostly stays in LA. Cardi's, she out there in Jersey. So, I'm gladfully they haven't bumped heads, but, it could get there all the time.
Well, I started going viral the other day.
Yeah.
Over a tweet about Bad Bunny doing the Super Bowl.
You go viral about once a month for opinion nowadays. That's on right. Twitter.
That's right. So what I said was,
are you rage baiting?
No, I feel like
Because I feel like before you hit send, I feel like you're like, this is going to fuck him up.
Sometimes, but it's my honest opinion. I
Okay.
never put out something that I can't honestly stand behind.
Okay.
So what I said was, and we'll show the tweet, said Bad Bunny headlined the Super Bowl. Strange to me. I'm glad he's getting such a huge opportunity, but none of his songs are in English, and I don't speak Spanish. Most of the audience of the Super Bowl won't speak Spanish. Only 40% of Americans speak Spanish, so most of the television audience won't know or understand the songs either. I can see him doing a major event like World Cup, where there's a massive Spanish audience, but the Super Bowl doesn't make sense. It seems like the NFL is trying to expand its Latino audience at the expense of its existing fans. What are your thoughts?
Definitely makes sense. It's one of the top 5 biggest artists. Well, no, not your tweet.
Not my tweet? I thought you agreed with me.
Nah,
God
hell
damn
no,
it.
I'm not agreeing with you. Bad Bunny's a GOAT, man. Bad Bunny. Hey, let me tell you this. I don't know Spanish, even though, Vlad, come on, you dated a couple Spanish chicks, so you know enough. Listen, I know a couple Bad Bunny songs that's in Spanish. I don't know every word, but I know the harmony and I know like the chorus.
What's your favorite Bad Bunny song? Not the one with Drake or an American artist. What's your favorite Spanish-only Bad Bunny song right now? Right now.
Like, I can't remember.
Exactly.
No,
You've just proven my point.
It's like
you proven my point. You do not have a favorite Bad Bunny song.
I promise I do. No, I promise
You
I do.
can't remember it.
No, because
you cannot remember
because it's a Spanish
it.
word. It's a Spanish word, but I'm
so
telling
you
you.
would remember the name.
Because I don't speak Spanish.
Ay, como va? That's a Spanish song that, I know about, but I don't know the words.
Yeah,
it's not a favorite song. I wouldn't bump it.
Vlad, listen, this is where, like, again, granted, I get what you're saying. I should just have a song in mind. Its song starts with a D. It's like,
okay, the D song. Okay, this is not
whatever it is.
But right now.
Yo, it hit the reality of it. He's one of the biggest artists in the world. Like, who else? Like, literally a top 5, one of the biggest artists in the world, and he's also similarly a top 10 artist in the U.S. Point blank. Period. What are we talking about? So, as much as you're saying, before this year, Bad Bunny's a bigger artist in the U.S. than Kendrick.
Okay.
Spotify-wise. I'm going by Spotify numbers. Now, I know some people are going to jump in and be like, yo, hold on now. It's because, listen, he was doing stadium tour before these boys even start thinking about a stadium name. Like, we gotta give him respect. Last year, the Super Bowl validated why they need Bad Bunny this year. Because last year, the Super Bowl told me that the picks by Jay-Z and Roc Nation isn't trying to make it, oh, this is America's person. They brought a nigga from the hood out of Compton to perform diss songs. Like, respectfully. And that did give them their best ratings. Right now, you need Taylor Swift, Adele, who both said they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Or you got to bring that Spanish boy, man. You got to bring him.
Man, look.
Yo, he's killing it. Yo, he's the number 2 biggest artist globally.
Because there's a huge Latin population worldwide.
Okay, so what do you think the criteria should be?
The NFL is primarily an American sporting event. It's not an international event.
That's viewed all over the world.
Not like America. Yes,
how much
game
percentage of the viewership comes from the U.S.? It's
more than 2/3. More than 2/3, and outside the U.S., I looked it up. I looked this up. I didn't just, throw this out there. Only about 10% of people outside the U.S. speak Spanish that watch the NFL. You see what I'm saying? Only 14% of Americans speak Spanish. So all I'm saying is the majority of NFL fans worldwide do not speak Spanish and will not understand the lyrics of the song. And listen, before you go on,
I'm gonna get you an ESL class because I'm gonna be honest with you.
I speak some Spanish. I mean, listen. I can understand part of it, but it's not the same thing.
The language barrier is the biggest thing that's like seems to be stopping you in terms of you making this argument when that's not the reality for really how a lot of people consume music.
Okay,
right? We've seen many different artists, like half of this, Burna Boy, one of the most popular artists in the United States, half of his music, he's speaking in a dialect or actually really a language that is native to Africa. Regular black Americans don't understand him. You know what I mean? Regular Americans don't understand him, but he's one of the biggest artists. So again, and here's the thing, when you talk about just the language, how many Hispanics or people that identify as Latinos are there in the United States? Like, I would say, by the way, they're bigger than the black population.
Well, there's 14%.
Well, it's bigger than
14%.
Kendrick up there doing all that extra two-step nonsense.
He's doing American English-speaking music.
He's
Look,
doing diss songs, bro.
listen. I checked the stats on my YouTube channel.
Nothing was Kaita. That's what the song's called. My bad. I say it was a D because they be rolling their tongue and shit. Pause.
Okay, I got it. Listen,
I know that song. Come on now.
I know. I interview a lot of different celebrities, not only rappers but singers, sports stars, gangsters, politicians, whatever else. Outside of America, I think maybe 5% of my content is consumed by non-English speaking countries, right? The reality is, and listen, maybe I'm just looking at it a little different than most people. I have a DJ in my name, right? You have a DJ in your name. I'm DJ Vlad. Like the essence of who I am relies and revolves around music. I simply cannot get into a song if I don't understand what that artist is saying in the song. The melody is cool, the vibe is cool, I get it. But if I don't really understand the music and the lyrics that go with it, to really understand the message of the music, I can't really get into it.
Vlad, let me tell you this. These artists in Latin America are killing it. Hold on. They're killing. Again, I get what you're saying. You're not into it. That's cool. But I'm telling you, like streaming wise, they do better than all of hip hop. Just, artist by artist. And they're usually the top performers. Like when you look at the numbers they're pulling, it's disgusting. Like I was saying this to someone. Let's just think about sometimes we're trapped in our own world. We don't realize that a lot of our world consumes stuff, and yes, Spanish might not be a language that we share, but it's centralized. Like, let me just make the point real quick. Kai Cenat, biggest streamer in the world, you would agree?
Yeah.
Okay, Kai Cenat got 1 million subs.
Right.
He's live right now. He got like 200,000 people watching him. That's some crazy numbers. They got a little Spanish reality show that has 1 million people watching all the time.
Nice.
When I seen those numbers, I'm like, what type of bot is that? No, that ain't even bot.
What's your favorite Spanish reality show?
But it doesn't matter. Not everything has to cater to me.
You just proved my point.
No, it doesn't have to cater to me.
That and
Vlad,
I'm saying Bad Bunny is not
company, I'm going for numbers.
English-speaking Americans like that.
Yeah, but we. I'm telling you,
Which is the NFL audience.
Vlad, we're going off what they did last year too, and I'm not taking shots at Kendrick, but it made algorithmic sense to get the biggest song that was having the biggest impact on the biggest stage. Yes, you could relate. Yes, I could relate because it is cultural. But if they're looking at raw numbers, they gotta go to the Latin world. You cannot go around it. Yes, you might not be. You think those dudes who show up to the Super Bowl with cowboy hats and boots from Nashville wanted to hear Kendrick sing Not Like Us? No. But you know what? They had to realize this shit bigger than you. Right now, this is the biggest song. And I'm telling you, for this time, every English-speaking fan, we've been talking about hip-hop dying. All these rappers are doing podcasts. Think about it. These rappers doing podcasts. They're putting down the mic. They don't even want to rap no more. Listen, put it like this. It was a whole thing. He skipped the United States just because of ICE. So ICE, and all the deportations, he's like, yo, man, I'm not even, huge impact. The dude is incredibly popular. And again, I would be like a casual person that if he came on, be like, oh, that's Bad Bunny. But when you look at how many Hispanic Americans, Mexican Americans, like just any Spanish-speaking American that probably immigrates from another country, they look at this dude like way bigger than if you look at Drake. I'm telling you. So again, it's a right move.
I agree with that part. Yes, to the Spanish audience, he's bigger than Drake. He's a superstar. I've heard some of his music. I can appreciate it from an artistic point of view as much as I can understand it. But all I'm saying is, with the NFL and the Super Bowl and the history of it and the audience and the fact that it is mostly American, it is mostly English speaking and so forth. It's not an international sport like soccer is. It is international a bit, but not like soccer.
Vlad, I'm
Not
surprised by
like
you.
baseball.
Because by the numbers, the top.
Not even like basketball.
The only people
basketball is more international than football.
The only people, well, they do play international games pretty much damn near.
No, I know, but these are
frequently.
not. This is not where most of the audience goes. When the NFL plays in like Spain, I don't think they're selling out massive stadiums.
It's crazy that you're making this point because in most conversations, and I watch the show a lot, like a lot of times when I see people try to use culture as an argument, I see you use raw numbers. Raw numbers dictate that they couldn't get no one with better numbers than this guy in the United States. For what his numbers is, we're not talking about globally. In the United States, they asked Goodell, they asked Taylor, they're not doing it. Drake ain't doing it. Kendrick can't do it again. He's the biggest, point blank, period. They got the biggest. What are we arguing about?
The top U.S. streaming artists. Late 24, early 25. Number 1 is Taylor Swift. Number 2 is Drake. Number 3 is Zach Bryan. Number 4 is Morgan Wallen. Number 5 is The Weeknd. Number 6 is Kanye. Number 7 is Billie Eilish. And
you gotta
number
look at it
8
on the year perspective.
is Bad Bunny.
Because
that's number 8 on the list. And then Travis Scott and then SZA.
Yeah, we gotta look at it on a year because if you're saying, is it for the full year?
I think so. I think that's late. I think like a 6 month block is based on what this AI overview is. Listen, he is in the top 10. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's not a great artist.
And let me tell you this. We don't have that many, unless you want to pick like some boutique or throwback type performance, which everybody's always gonna appreciate. But like, you're not gonna pick one person that's gonna appeal to everybody. So you gotta ostracize. This is how, first of all, the reason why you're also bringing this up is that back in the day, the selections were very simple. It was going to be an artist that would be like completely considered pop. What pop was is top 40. Yes. You're making music that what top 40 usually meant, from how Billboard and Nielsen SoundScan like looked at it back then, was top 40 represents what the middle American casual listener would listen to and identify with, which would be pop music made by white people. This is why when black people started making music that would kind of start going into the top 40, they would have the argument of, is this a pop artist? Because we call those people hip hop, or we call them other genres. But now we get to realize what pop is. Pop could be Burna Boy whenever he drops his music. Pop, like, these guys are all doing stadiums. It could be Peso Pluma. Peso Pluma's a huge artist.
Right.
I don't know his music, I'll keep it a beat. But
neither do
his
I.
numbers are undeniable, right? Also, you
to
have
the Spanish audience,
say again?
Not to the American audience. I don't know I do not know a single non-Spanish.
Vlad, you older than me. You more travel.
I'm 52. Listen, I don't know a single non-Spanish speaking person that listens to Peso Pluma.
But you don't get what I'm saying. If you, first of all, I don't even know how you live in California. Like, there's mad Mexicans up in California.
I know this. They're probably all mad at me right now.
Yo, San Antonio, Texas, Arizona, like you could see, like Mexican culture really is like, it's spread all the way into the United States. So when you say you don't know, it sounds like you need to know more people who speak English.
No, listen, I have Spanish speaking friends that do listen to this stuff, but they speak Spanish. My friends who
you
don't
feel like
speak
you're gonna
Spanish,
get left out, Vlad. You feel like, yo, we gonna have a translator there. You know how to be having a sign language person?
Well, you can get those,
we gonna have the subtitles for you.
The new AirPods. I think they translate on the fly.
I'm in there. Yo, listen.
You're there?
I'm in there. Yo, let me tell you this. Yo, he's like not only the Hispanic Drake, he's the Hispanic Chris Brown. I'm telling you, I'm in there. I'm in there just trying to bag some joints already.
You're there for other reasons. You're not
No.
there
I love the music. No.
Actually, because you're a fan of the music. It took you forever to name one song, and you're not even sure if that's the name of the song.
No.
You don't know any of the lyrics.
No, Vlad.
Do you even know what the song's about? What's that song about?
Vlad.
What's that song about? Your favorite song? What is it about?
I don't know.
No idea. Now, let me tell you something.
Music. Hold on. Music doesn't. You know how many times I've seen? I used to listen to Prince Royce. Right. My favorite song by him. By the way, this is not even a popular. He's a Spanish artist.
Yeah, I don't know.
Favorite song is called Corazon Sin Cara, right?
Yeah.
That song sounds so good sonically. I only found out what it really meant later, right? Even though it's kind of like built into the name. However, that's not a prerequisite of you liking a song. Like, there's people who are singing songs that's low key about. I always told people, I'm like, yo, y'all be singing Drake Tootsie Slide. That's a whole drill song made into a TikTok dance. Now I'm saying, if we don't catch him this time, we don't catch him next time. We gonna slide. I'm telling you, go read the lyrics to Tootsie Slide, and if you don't realize that Drake is in a very clever way writing a revenge song, you're an idiot. Just like how EXO Tour Life or the majority of Uzi's album, it's a breakup album.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So sometimes you might not know what you're listening to, but it doesn't mean you can't certify as hot. Bad Bunny undoubtedly makes some of the best music, way better than some of these. I want to see these niggas up there. I want to see Bad Bunny. Change up the vibe.
Look, I had DJ Envy here yesterday, and he brought up an interesting point. He said, well, what about reggae music? A lot of people don't understand patois. Do you feel the same way about that? And I said, no, because actually I can understand patois pretty well. Not perfectly, but at least I can understand the overall gist and feeling and meaning behind the song. Yes, a few slang words are going to get by me because I'm not Jamaican, but I've been around the culture enough to actually appreciate it.
You're more endearing to the culture. That's it, Vlad. But I'm telling you, shoot, I do feel like I'm outside when it comes to Latin culture, but it's infectious. Like, it's infectious.
I'm happy that he's getting the opportunity. He is a great artist. I never said he was whack. I didn't say, he's not big enough to deserve it or whatever else. He absolutely deserves it. But my whole thing is, it'd be more fitting in an event like World Cup than the Super Bowl.
I think you should do both. Let me tell you, I like him. I like him because, and I think this is why, obviously we get the language thing. He came in the game and he fucked it up. And he changed how all these people, especially, all these labels went to Puerto Rico to find more artists. Like, they're there. Like, they be hitting me like, we over here, we about this favela, we trying to find them. I'm telling you, they're there trying to find. He came, at first labels didn't sign like artists because they didn't even think the market was big enough, then the numbers exploded. That's what I'm telling you, on streaming, they kill it. So, because if you're from Puerto Rico, or you're from Dominican Republic, not only you got the whole island there, you got everybody in New York, you got the whole East Coast, then your music translates easily to people on the southern border, and then on the West Coast. So you get to realize people in New York, they have to, especially people in LA, I'm talking about black rappers or just rappers in general, they got to do a lot to cross over. Like, we ain't trying to hear that, what up, blood, what up, cuz shit all the time. Your music stops at a certain point because it doesn't translate well because a lot of people make regional music. The thing with the thing with Spanish and just that language is a global identifier that brings their music, and that's why their streaming numbers are so crazy. They get their island, they get all the other Latin countries who could identify with that music. Again, yes, we're gonna sit there for like 20 minutes and hope we like see something because we don't understand much, but you might know a catchy song or two because they do spin the brakes out of these songs.
Look, Kendrick's on a worldwide tour right now. His show in Colombia was canceled due to poor ticket sales because people in Colombia just do not speak English.
That's cap.
Now, what?
That's cap.
That's cap?
And I hate to defend Kendrick. That's not. Yo, if you think Kendrick can't sell out Colombia, these are superstars.
He did not sell out Colombia. He canceled the whole show.
Well, listen.
Now you say, oh, what about all the other countries he goes to? But
he
like,
went to Mexico City. Kendrick's a little black boy from Compton, went to Mexico City.
Okay.
Yo, these artists, Live Nation ain't throwing their artists out somewhere like, yo, let's roll the dice. They know exactly. I hate when fans try to use that. Like, I see fans trying to like, oh, this tour. I mean, even on like Drake fans will try to use it on oh, this tour isn't sold out. Live Nation controls everything. They control the venue, the ticket selling thing is gonna happen. So I think, I don't know exactly what the reason is, but until I could see something that's actually legit, I'm not gonna believe it was canceled because of poor ticket sales. Live Nation not sending him, like, we're not talking about some rinky-dink operation. You're not bringing a tour that's generating $5 million a night to roll the dice in Colombia just to be like, let's waste all the resources bringing it here and let's see if people show up. Come on, man.
All right, maybe you're right because I'm looking it up right now. There were logistical problems and structural issues with the venue.
Now that could be an excuse too, so I ain't gonna go lie.
Could be
that could be because sometimes.
I don't know, man. Listen, I guess to me, I guess I'm just not the typical person because obviously people are arguing with me and so forth. Like, I really live this music shit. Like, I've devoted my life to it. Like, the basis of VladTV is hip hop. I was a DJ. I have plaques on the walls. Like, I really spent years with headphones on in my bedroom by myself doing blends and tweaking mixes and so forth.
Yeah, but you listen to like the dudes who can't even hold, like they can't hold a candle to Bad Bunny. Like,
no,
Bad Bunny's
but what
the
I'm
biggest.
saying is that like, yo, I simply...
You gotta compare Bad Bunny to Michael Jackson.
In the Spanish world, you're probably right. In the Spanish world, you're right. But at the end of the day, if I cannot fully embrace the music, which means the lyrics as well, I can't really appreciate the song the way I can.
We're not his main audience, and we gotta understand.
And that's okay. And neither is everyone that watches NFL games mostly. That's what I think.
Are you
Especially
crazy?
the Super Bowl. But listen,
Hell no.
We'll see what happens. Maybe I'm wrong. Now, if he did a couple Spanish songs, he did a bunch of songs, with English, because they're like, oh, he already performed at the Super Bowl. He did a set with J-Lo and Shakira, but that was only like one song.
Hey,
The rest of the songs were in English, and I think that's why it worked. Now, if it's like, yo, we're gonna mix it up and so forth, I'm like, oh, that's dope. But to do like the majority of his songs are in Spanish. I don't even think he speaks English like that.
hey,
Does
let
he?
me tell you this. I'm not. You see, the Kendrick had like inflated views, not dissing him, but he just had inflated views because everybody was tuning in to see the diss, right? They want to see like, is he gonna perform, right?
He performed.
But right below, in terms of how it's gonna fall on the charts, this gonna be the biggest. It's smoking the rest of them. Respectfully, Rihanna performance is not touching this in terms of numbers. Rihanna performance ain't touching it. I ain't gonna lie, even the Dr. Dre and them performance ain't touching it. That's Bad Bunny. When you see that Spanish boy come out, y'all gotta back up.
I mean, that Usher performance was pretty hot.
I'm gonna take a month of Spanish classes. I'm gonna be up in there like mad bilingual. I'm telling you. He's
We
the
can
GOAT.
agree to disagree, man. It's all good. I respect your opinion, and hopefully you respect mine as well. But at the end of the day, people I'll just say it like this: like, imagine if one of the top artists right now was Korean, because it's not like K-pop is not a huge thing, right? Even like that K-pop Demon Hunters animated film, a bunch of the songs are like in the top 10 on Spotify, but these are English songs. They've actually been translated into English. The Korean versions of those songs are not being listened to like that. So what if like a Korean artist, did the Super Bowl halftime show where you have no goddamn idea what they're saying, but it's a bunch of big songs that you have no idea.
If it's doing numbers here, it means it's hot, and we want to see what's hot. Vlad, I'm telling you, I don't want to say more culture, but because I come from Jamaica, I was listening to a Punjabi artist the other day. I swear, I don't want to say nothing he's saying, but he from Toronto. Now I'm gonna forget my man's name. I really want to get. So he from Toronto, and he was going crazy on track. I can't understand what he talking about, but he was going crazy. And for me, I could understand stuff that I don't understand because that I don't understand the lyrics. Because with me, this is how I look at music. Music, like Jay-Z always said this, and he's right. Your voice is an additional instrument on the track. You have the beat, and then you have your voice. And if they get into certain pockets and certain rhythms and just certain repetitive things, that's what music is. It's gonna sound like, oh, this is hot. Like, think about the Punjabi MC. What the fuck is like he saying?
Would you want to see a whole Super Bowl set with Punjabi MC?
No.
Anyone
I'm just
can
saying
have a hot,
why I'm not.
catchy
I don't
song,
reject those
I
music.
get it. But I would not want to see 20 minutes of Punjabi MC going from one Indian song to another.
If he was top 5 in the United States by having the hottest songs, shit, let him rock.
We just agree to disagree, man. We agree to disagree. I respect your opinion, you my man. But I'm not gonna
Vlad,
go along
the next
with
concert
this.
we're going to is a Bad Bunny concert.
All right, let's go to Bad Bunny concert.
Yo, you gonna go to a Bad Bunny concert? And
You
gonna
can
be
cuss
like,
me
man,
out afterwards, backstage in Spanish.
Yo, listen, you gonna go the ambiance there? Yo, we were at YoungBoy concert. Everybody got green flags, shiesties, look like they have a switch. Like, yo, these dudes, they all look mad. Like, yo, we're walking, everybody's walking like very hard, aggressive.
Militant, yeah.
Right? You go to a Bad Bunny concert, you see the ambiance, the most beautiful women just listen to music about love and shit.
There
You're
was
like,
definitely not a lot of beautiful women at the concert with YoungBoy last night. There were some.
There's some beautiful thug-ass chicks, man.
As a whole, I saw a lot of bullet wounds, some
there,
buck
man.
50s. Even his backup dancers look like those were like his cousins. Like, you know, they look like just his friends from back home.
Good still, man.
Well, speaking of that, last night, we're in New Jersey, backstage at the NBA YoungBoy show at the Prudential.
Yeah, great show.
Man, I had a time. Thank you so much for inviting me, because I don't usually go out. So it's like when everyone saw me, they all like were like bugging out, like, oh shit, Vlad is out.
Yeah.
I got so much love, not only from all the artists backstage to the fans. I took a million photos. I was getting interviewed as I'm leaving the venue. It was just a great night, man.
Hey, I want to also thank NBA's team.
Yeah.
His team really opened their arm, because I didn't tell them until I was there. I was like, yo, hey, listen, I'm having a guest, you know, come, and I want him to be back here and, you know, kind of, because they roll the red carpet out for me all the time, you know. But at this point, you know, it's like a couple times you come over, you don't open the fridge, you're like, hey, you have something to drink. Now when I'm at NBA YoungBoy concert, I'm in the fridge in my drawers. I'm like, yo, what's up? Like, I'm heating stuff up in the microwave. So I wanted them to give you a pleasant experience. Like, this is your first time there. Like, you're meeting some of these people. I want to make sure, you know. So I gave them the heads up and make sure everybody's polite and this and third, because, you know, you're a big deal in the media world, a world that we all work together. And they were like, oh, Vlad, of course. Like, yo, tell them to come through. They was making calls to be like, yo, we got to have these people come meet them. We want to show them a good time, and I'm glad you had a good time.
Well, and to be fair, I've already kind of been in the mix with some of their people. So me and Quando Rondo have done multiple interviews. I flew to Savannah, Georgia to interview him in person.
I didn't even know you did an interview with 3.
Yeah, OG3 I've interviewed before. And Lil Tim, who was there, I've interviewed also.
Yeah, Lil Tim was just on tour. Like, you were shocked by that.
Yeah, I mean, he was there. That was the first time me and him met in person.
Yeah.
Right? That was kind of cool, because it was like, oh shit, what up, Tim?
Yeah.
You know, but I think the highlight of my night, me and Birdman have been speaking for 2 years on a regular basis. Like, every month or two, I'll text him, he'll hit me back, or he'll hit me, we'll get on the phone, we're talking about doing an interview, he's down with it, he brought up the idea, but it never happened, whatever else. But for the first time, we were in the same room, and we'll play a little clip, and when he saw me, right, because you didn't tell him I was coming.
No, I ain't
we showed up to the tour bus, he walks in, he's like, yo, is that who I think it is? Is that who I think it is?
Don't tell me who that. Don't.
I heard y'all never met.
Don't tell me that's who that is.
Shit, I heard y'all talk to the phone. Yeah, that's him.
Vlad, how you doing, brother? Bro. 2 years ago.
Yo, this is the first time I met in person?
That's the first time we ever met.
We just hugged it out.
Yeah.
And to me, Birdman is the greatest hip-hop CEO of all time in terms of pure hip-hop.
I've been calling him Phil Jackson.
No one else, this is not just because I know him or met him or whatever else, you can't name another hip-hop CEO that just stuck with the music since day one. Yeah, he has some lugs, shoes, and, you know, maybe some stuff here and there, but...
Of course, you're going to do a little ancillary business, but he never say, oh, okay, this is the exit plan.
Yeah, no, you know, he had Baller Block, and, you know, he's dibbled and dabbled in various other things, I get it, but 99% of his career has been strictly on music, and he's continued decade after decade after decade to just discover enormous talent.
Yeah.
And really talent that other people have passed on and so forth. Like, I didn't see, for someone to see the vision of Lil Wayne as a little kid, it's mind-blowing to me. Right?
Birdman he's a cheat code. You can't really explain him.
He's a cheat code, yeah.
Birdman will see the talent in you. And the reason why some of these people love him and they stick by him so well is because he empowers you early on. Like, he'll see it and he won't be like, let me wait. He'll tell you, yo, you're the man. Yo, whatever you want to do, let's do it now. Like, fuck these other people. That's what we're doing. And sometimes it might seem premature, but he sees where the play is going to go. So when later on, when you're a bigger artist or you're in a way, like, you're gonna have like almost like this genuine like love, and you want to like. And here's the thing too: most of the times, at least at first, when he's embracing you, there's no contracts involved. So when someone is like, they're looking at you before you even fully believe in yourself. He's empowering you, and yeah, of course. But he has a really good eye for talent, because you know what I told him? I said, listen, Man, the thing with this music business shit, especially on the executive side, it's a lot of time. You could waste your time. Like, you're on a tour that's taking 2 months away. You're going to be away from your family. You're there every night. Like, imagine if it's all for nothing. Now, obviously, in this case, it wouldn't be, but like, he's that type of person where if he met an artist and that artist was like, hey, listen, yeah, we're not doing arenas, but we're doing these smaller venues, or I'm working on making music, he'll gonna come to the studio and rock with you. And for me, I'm like, we have finite amount of time on this earth. And for the choices that he's made to always spend those times cultivating the right relationships and picking the right artists to invest in, and when I'm saying invest in time, it's Phil Jackson.
Yeah, I agree. And during our conversation, well, really it was the conversation between you and him. I was just kind of sitting and watching.
Oh, we're all there,
right?
man.
It was interesting. I mean, he said he's gotten 1 trillion streams.
Bro, I did 1 trillion streams. 1 trillion streams.
Got Drake, Nicki, all that.
I did 1 trillion streams.
I'm trying to think how many zeros that is.
Bro, we can't even count that.
Yeah.
1 trillion streams. And when you think about it, when you start adding Wayne, Nicki, Drake, YoungBoy, Young Thug, like Juvenile, like Tiger, like you're probably looking at about 1 trillion streams.
The craziest part about that stat is that other than a major subsidiary record label of, say, like UMG, like I would say like a Def Jam, if we're comparing him to the people we would compare him to, like say a Rockefeller, or we would compare him to QC, he's by far the first one, and probably even the only one who's even hit 500 billion.
Yeah.
Streaming popped off in 2016. This just shows the run. This is why after he says it and it's soaking in, I'm like,
yeah, he's probably right.
he also, because I've been to his house down in Florida, he has this huge, I mean, this thing looks like it's a whole wall. And it's not for streams though. It's for CDs sold. So this is a guy who, he sold infinite amount of CDs. Then the streaming game came, and his artists have done infinite amount of streams.
Yeah.
So when you look at it like that, to see how every era and shit is changing, and he said something that's very dope, and this is why he's Bill Belichick, right? Because sometimes some people get written out the game because of technology. Like, all right, yo, old man, you can't keep up. He's like, he believes in the music, and he knows good music is gonna sell. So it don't matter if it was back when people were getting bootleg. It doesn't matter if it was, oh yeah, these are the mixtapes, people getting them for free. It doesn't matter if but he's been doing this for so long. They were selling shit on cassette.
Yeah, that's true. And he was selling out the trunk to begin with. This was not someone whose dad, this is not Elliot Grange, whose dad kind of put him into a great position. He got it out the mud as a drug dealer in New Orleans. Like, it's wild. And he said something interesting last night when we were all talking. He said that Mike Kaiser from Atlantic gave him NBA YoungBoy for free.
Yeah.
And he was like, I would have paid 20, 30 million. But he just gave it to him for free because they just thought that he's already done everything he could have done, and he's always in jail, and go ahead, just take him.
Yeah. That's another reason why Birdman is a GOAT.
Yeah.
Again, if and we got to acknowledge this, right? It's reasons why we've criticized them, or the culture's criticized them, that makes him the GOAT, right? Because I don't know if people remember the story, the whole thing about him and Wayne with the money, like, he was on some run and gun shit. Like, if you watch the documentary, he explains it, right? He was like, yo, listen, we didn't really know to do like financials and shit. So we was just like, we was thugging it. We was just trying to get it. So yeah, over time, it wasn't the best paperwork in everything. And nobody was ever stealing money and nothing like that, but it's just that mismanagement, this and third. And here's the thing. It's that same, hey, listen, we might not be doing this just like a corporate company is doing it, but this is right and we're running with it. It's the same reason why he wants YoungBoy. The company that's doing it right, like numbers wise and whatever, the moment their metric says, yeah, jail is likely, we think we got the best out of him, drop him. So who do you think is right? Again, both could be right, but it shows you he moves a lot sometimes with his heart, and shoot, I think he just made good decisions with the artists he's picked up.
And the thing about Birdman, I remember TK Kirkland telling me this. He said, because TK used to tour, used to open up for Cash Money, right? And he was in Baller Blocking and so forth, right? So they go back. He said Birdman is the only person he's ever met that doesn't respect money. And this is what he meant by it. He would see Birdman go into a Bentley dealership and buy like 5 Bentleys all at once. And he's also like been to one of Birdman's homes where you saw like 4 Range Rovers parked in front of the house and all the tires were flat.
Yeah.
Because they've been sitting there for so long, not driven. I have been, it was, what studio was it? Treetop Sound in Atlanta?
Yeah.
I remember I was doing some filming there or something like that. I remember the guy who owns the studio was like, yeah, Birdman rented out our biggest studio for the past month. He hasn't actually shown up one time. Like Birdman would just spend money, huge amounts of money to me and you, and he's not tripping because he knows he'll make more. He's not counting every penny. He's not trying to be the most efficient. He has big picture thoughts. And the few millions that get lost along the way, who cares?
And that's why I think artists are attracted to him.
Yeah.
You see that lifestyle? The lifestyle of, okay, I'm not penny pinching. I'm not, hey, listen, yo, get them all vehicles. Do it, right? Like, that also helps an artist's psyche, you know? Now, obviously, there is a downside to this eventually. Like, those people might come back around later when things ain't going too well and be like,
well, yeah, I mean, didn't he lose the house at one point? Like the house on Star Island? There was a situation where I think...
Birdman had a house on Star Island?
I believe so. Scott Storch's old house. I believe he bought it and then...
I know he had a house. He had somehow... But, well, I never heard Birdman with money problems, but like you might hear an artist be like, oh, like for example, Rich Homie Quan was just like, yo, all our music got leaked because Birdman never paid the studio. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, so here we go. So Birdman had a series of financial problems, including a foreclosure on a Miami mansion, also banning a New Orleans property after Hurricane Katrina. So there was a purchase, there was a time that Birdman wasn't hot. Remember, Lil Wayne was like, I think not rocking with him, and there wasn't a bunch of artists and so forth. Like, not everyone's always up, but he's always turning it around.
They got to be between like 2011 and 2014.
Something like that, yeah.
Or 15. That's when Thug and Rich Gang came around.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Miami mansion is the one that I always remember. But, you got another mansion now. Probably got a few mansions.
Yeah. One thing with Birdman, though, I think as we've seen him age is that, and that's why I keep asking him, I'm like, dog. I mean, granted, the tour bus he's on is like $1.5 or $2 million tour bus, but he could just be at the house. Like, he could just be like running through his hundreds of millions of dollars, yet he wants to be in a parking lot with a bunch of artists and a bunch of YNs who like, I don't know if you noticed last night.
He was right there,
No, so
like off the stage with all of us.
No, right when he came off, right when we came out, it was about to be an altercation. He walked in the middle of that shit. I don't know if you've seen it. He walked in, there was like a bunch of commotion. He walked in the middle of it, and he talked to the dude, and then all the security kind of ran up, like because
No, I didn't see that.
You may have left. I'm wondering if you had left. I think you may have left. Oh, you had left. I think you had left. Anyway, and I said to my guy, and I said, yo, because he noticed the security. And I said, if you think somebody touching Birdman back here, you out of your damn mind. But what I realized what really happened, like, I don't know if it was an argument or whatever, he got in there and he was just like, yo, let's calm this down. Hold on. And he got both of them dudes who seemingly that could have been like a little situation. I don't know if it would be a fight or whatever. Just out of respect for him, they were just like, all right, we good. And then that's what I realized. That's kind of like his worth, especially to these young dudes. They don't look at him like, that's Gramps, man. That's Gramps. He don't know what the fuck he talking about. They look at him like, yo, This is the biggest blood out here, man. Like this, yo, he got all the respect in the world.
Yeah, but the reason why he gets so much respect is because he's so respectful with people when he meets them.
Nah, he is respectful though.
Yeah, he was so respectful. He didn't have to show me the type of love he showed me last night. And he pulled me aside and said, "Listen, man, on my mother, Ms. Gladys, man, we're gonna do this interview, man. I don't hold nothing above that. So I'm saying on my mama, Ms. Gladys, who passed away when he was 5, by the way. He said, I'm telling you, we're gonna do this interview, we're gonna get it in.
Yeah.
We're gonna get it in.
But Birdman he's much more respectful than I would have thought before I met him.
Well, yeah, because the Breakfast Club was your introduction to him in a way.
Yeah, and also like just things I would kind of hear. I'm thinking he just like a Southern Suge Knight. I always thought that about street dudes. I never associated street dudes with respect. Honestly, like most street dudes, like they don't know how to deal with people who ain't street. So
really,
whoa,
I've found over the years, I'm a little older.
Or maybe it's just Eastern niggas.
Because
the Southern dudes, they mad play about it.
Listen, for me, dealing with actual real gangsters has always been easier than dealing with like the wannabes and so forth, the studio gangsters and so forth. Those guys, I remember me and Rollo, like we did an interview and there was parts of the interview that ended up kind of bleeding into like his kid's school. And he called me up and he was so polite about it. He said, hey, Vlad, I just want to tell you that this interview was brought up to my principal, my kid's private school, and it's kind of given, potentially could affect, them schooling there. So I'm wondering if it's okay, if you could maybe take that part down or maybe change the title or something. I said, yeah, I got you. He could have been on the phone. Yo, man, you better take that shit down, motherfucker. You know what the fuck? None of that. This is why me and Rollo are still good. Yeah. Because, you start yelling at somebody, you're not yelling at a nobody. You yelling at someone who got something behind them too. Next thing you know, the whole situation escalates. And I'm like, fuck you. I ain't taking shit down.
Yeah.
Do something. Like, it'll turn into that. Sue me. Whatever. But
there's definitely a few, but that's why I say it's a Southern thing, man.
I've had calls from Top, at TDE.
I never told
always been respectful. Suge has always been disrespectful, but Suge, I feel, is the anomaly. Like, you can't really be a gangster. You can't be Big Red in those types of situations and expect to have a long career because there's always going to be someone tougher. Can't beat the whole world. We've seen Mike Tyson get knocked out. And we saw Suge get knocked out multiple times. Like, doing all that extra rah-rah shit. Because, and I've had really close friendships with some of these guys because they don't want to be on some bullshit all the time. Like, they've already been through it. Yeah. They've been through it. And, with me going through my home invasion situation, like, you don't want to go back to these ultra-violent, life on the line kind of situations. You want to chill. You want to be happy. You want to work problems out. You want to talk it over. Everyone needs to make money together. Like, once you start threatening people and so forth, that'll work one time. And then what'll happen after that? The people will avoid you. You know what the perfect example of this is? Whack 100. When Whack 100 got into the game, he thought threatening people and acting tough and so forth was going to get him to where he needs to go.
I thought most people were like Whack 100 when I first came.
Man, Whack threatened me over the phone over this whole situation with Ray J. You know what I said? I'm not talking to him again. For 10 years, we didn't talk. Because I said, you're not going to do that to me. I didn't run to Big U or some other gangsters I knew. Oh, you need I'm scared of it. I'm like, all right, I'm going to, we're going to get militant in the way we move. If I know that this dude is like this with me, so when we run into him, we're going to be prepared. Yeah. The best, we're going to be able to defend ourselves at least to the best of our ability. And I just avoided him. And at one point, we got on the phone, we laughed it off. And now we're friends, and he's a regular guest on my show. I don't even bring security when Whack comes now.
Yeah. He figured out, I feel like a few years ago that, especially with the media, you can't do that street shit.
No,
with people
can't.
in media like that. Like,
no, he grew out of that phase.
Yeah,
I think he was trying to be the new Suge Knight. and he realized Suge's gonna end up in jail one day being Suge Knight. And he was right. Now, he's the cool guy. Now, not to say that he's a pushover or anything else like that, because he's not. But if you don't come at him like that,
Yeah.
I mean, listen, even, like, did you ever hear about the whole situation with him and Traplo Ross?
Yeah.
They got into it. Ross called me, was like, yo, man, like, I just called for whack. He's like threatening me. I think I'm gonna call the police. Like, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, I've been in these types of situations with whack, right? Now, I wasn't gonna call the police like Trap, but like, I'm also a different type of person than he is. He's younger. He hasn't been in these kind of situations. Like, he's gonna handle it differently than I am, and he was scared at that point. So what did I do? I called up whack and I said, look, like, I understand why you're upset, and I understand how that comment could rub you the wrong way, but this guy's gonna end up calling the police. This is gonna cause a bunch of problems, and this is a good guy who actually brings a lot to the table. This is someone that we all work with, and I think it would benefit you to just work it out, because we'll all win without you guys fighting with each other. And I think he understands what he did wrong and so forth. You know what happened afterwards?
They made up.
Traplo Ross called me. He said, I don't know what you told Wack, but he called me up and we worked it all out. You know, I had to be the Birdman in that situation to come in. Like, you know, get the homies to calm down a little bit, to get all the younger homies, because, you know, Wack is younger than me too, right? To get all the younger homies to just calm down and start working together, because, you know, because I think Birdman, he knows the big picture. They're on this stadium tour right now. One bad fight, one shooting, one murder will cancel a bunch of fucking shows.
Yeah.
Like how much does YoungBoy get per show? If you were to guess.
I don't know. I'd believe, you know, I was before saying 600, but based on what I'm hearing ticket prices are, like them ticket prices, like people are emptying out of piggy banks for him. I would imagine 800.
Close to $1 million.
Yeah, 800.
When you throw in the merch, he's probably clearing a ticket a show, a meal ticket. That's a lot of money, man. Plus everyone else who's getting money, who's getting exposure, who's, you know, the streams are going up. Everyone's having a great time. It's a cool, you know, like the vibe in the place was great.
They've been chilling, you know. They've been chilling. They had one canceled show
in Chicago.
Yeah.
Are you surprised?
No, but I'm wondering why they didn't cancel it before. They got paid for it. Like I talked to his manager.
They got paid for that show and didn't perform?
Of course.
Wow.
Because they didn't cancel it.
Right.
So
right, it's not
you
their
know
fault.
they kind of broke it down to me. They said, "Listen, 2 days before our trucks are there. We're ready to go. We got fans there. We're not like, well, we think we coming here to war? No, we coming here to perform. We got fans. We love our fans. We're not going. It's not a war zone." So they wanted to have a good show. The United Center called them. Hey, listen, we're gonna have to cancel this. They were down to work with any type of, like, you know, extra security,
all that.
security protocols that could make the show happen. They wanted to do the show. They got canceled abruptly by the venue. So because they didn't cancel, and usually if you ever see how these contracts read, is only time you don't get paid is if you don't do your deliverables, or what they call is like an act of God, like the building blow up or something, right? But no, they made it so they got paid. They had to get paid for what their merch was gonna sell. They got to get paid for his full fee, and they got to get reimbursed for all of the traveling, because these are ongoing expenses. So all the hotels of everybody and all the flights and everybody, like, so we're talking about dancers, we're talking about, remember there's other artists, there's Offset, there's Tusi, there's D-Baby, K3, we have Mellow Rax and Dumb. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Why do you think was the real reason why the Chicago show was canceled? The real reason?
I think they probably started realizing this was going to be a standoff, but nothing to do with necessarily YoungBoy. I think they realized, like, Chicago's a very prideful place. I was hearing that some GDs was going to be there to hold them down, right? And, well, if that was going to be the case, we all know the situation that happened, and Dirk and, you know, rest in peace, Vaughn, they're BDs. So now it's like, does the other part of Chicago just look like bitches? If they don't put up a united front or try to stand against it. And I think they just realize, it was a situation where it was more likely that there was gonna be some bullshit that happened. And I don't think, like, you've been in these arenas, I don't think it would be a YoungBoy, but it would be something where a fan would get hurt. If somebody ever fired off a bullet, I don't think it would be at YoungBoy. You're not gonna have it they're gonna have TSA-like security up in there. But you don't think everybody gonna be out there with weapons around this arena, people who might not even have tickets, they might just whatever. So again, I think they made the right decision. They should have just did it before. If that's the thought. I know some people are like, nah, I should let it happen. You gotta prioritize the safety of the people, right? I think they should have initially said, hey, once it was announced, we can't do that this year. Maybe on another run, not this year. Also, you have to remember the last song that he plays, remember I told you, everybody about to leave, let's watch this last song. He walks off stage. The song he plays is a Lil Durk diss song. Like, the crowd sings it word for word. They don't leave.
Yeah, and he brings out Lil Tim during the song sometimes.
He don't bring him out because he's not on stage. Tim might just run on stage if he's right there.
No, but I heard, but wasn't there a video of him performing that song and he brought out Lil Tim?
Remember, he leaves. Like, he walks off the stage. But his guys, and Tim too, Tim's at every show. So Tim is there. So it's one particular show, I think it's D-Dog, like, just drags him out there and they're turning up with fans, which now fans are looking at like, this song makes 1,000,000 times sense now. You got Lil Tim and the song is dissing Durk and Vaughn. It's like, so again, I think they probably were watching also the reaction to how these shows were building. It was building like, okay, if this happens in Chicago, this might be a real problem. But again, do I think that a YoungBoy was going there to antagonize? Nah.
Well, we were all basically like around the stage.
Yeah.
Like kind of to the side of the stage this whole time. So it was us and a bunch of other rappers and celebrities and so forth. And Jim Jones was there.
Yeah.
So you were there with your security.
Uh-huh.
And at one point I looked over, you and Jim Jones were having a conversation.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the conversation got a little tense from Jim's side.
Yeah.
What exactly was said?
So I'll bring it back to how that even happened. First of all, I didn't know Jim Jones was going to be there. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, even the concert before I even know Mano was going to be there, but we were in Brooklyn. This time we're in Jersey. Now, first of all, I don't even know if I have a problem with Jim Jones, but because Jim Jones had reached out about having an interview. This was right after the Kanye thing. And Kanye has said that, he couldn't make me a PDF, and I got him $2 million. Jim Jones wanted to respond. Jim Jones had hit us up and said, it was an intermediary. Mm-hmm. I said we could do it. Jim said, hey, listen, all right, cool, we could do it, but I do want to get on the phone with you. We got to make sure, we're good. And sometimes you got to chop it up with artists.
Yeah, of course.
Just the way it is. That never got done. We don't really ever talk to him or ran to him before. So now we're at the concert, and Birdman's my guy, right? So like, we left Birdman's bus to go catch the beginning of YoungBoy's show. I wanted to really catch the whole experience because you've never seen Birdman. No, I mean
YoungBoy.
YoungBoy.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've seen his show a couple times, but I want you to kind of get the essence of how this crowd is reacting to his music. And also, I really thought it would be very valuable when you had to speak about his impact for you to see what this really was. You get what I'm saying? So cool. We're watching the show, right? And then I see Birdman walk in. And I said to Birdman, because when Birdman said, Act, when I come up, we usually stand next to each other and like YoungBoy's team and people will come around too. And we drinking and we just watching the show from the side of the stage. So I see Birdman and I dart in front of my security. I'm like, it's Birdman right there. Hold on, I'm about to go by him. I walk down the steps and right by Birdman, as soon as I see Birdman, he was like a little bit over here, and then I see Jim Jones. But Jim Jones, the way Jim Jones looked at it, it kind of looked like I was trying to run up on him. I'm gonna be honest with you, because like, So he said to me, he's like, yo, what's up, nigga? And I was like, what's up? But like his what's up a little bit different. What's up? It's like a little bit different. What's up? Anyway, we dap each other there. I'm also still not thinking nothing. I then talked to Birdman, whatever. Yo, the illest thing happened. They clear out a big ass circle. This is like packed usually. They get Birdman a folding chair. He's just chilling there like this.
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
saw that. He was the only person sitting in that whole area.
Yeah. So anyway, I chop it over Birdman, but also, listen, with me, I'm always down to, again, I don't have nothing personal against Jim Jones, right? So I like to, my biggest weapon is communication. So I always talk to people. So when he's there, I know if our interaction was a little bit odd before, so I walked up to him and I was like, yo, no, and I'm live streaming too. And he said, yo, hold on, let's holla. And I'm like, all right, cool. So I think I got off live stream. And his mood switched on me. I think the first thing he said was, he says, yo, listen, bro, those internet games y'all playing, that's not cool. And I was trying to get an understanding of what he was saying, but he was so heated. He wasn't even trying to, I'm having a conversation. He's just trying to say something. So, but I'm like, yo, what exactly are you talking about? Then he mentioned 6ix9ine. And I really don't know exactly which part of this whole like his issue with 6ix9ine thing is. It could have been since he did your interview recently. I know we reposted it. But
we haven't even gotten. I don't think we even mentioned Jim Jones. Maybe
no. But it is because we reposted that clip. It's a clip where he's talking about Mel Matrix, and he says Jim Jones.
That's not mine.
That's
someone else's.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah,
okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was like him and Charleston White together.
Yeah.
That wasn't me.
Oh, that's One Night with Steiny. Yeah. That's Steiny's podcast.
Yeah, Steiny.
Okay. So anyway, I don't know if he's talking about that. I really don't know what he's talking about, but only thing he said to me was 6ix9ine.
He's probably talking about that. Did you repost that maybe? Or?
Yeah, no, of course. I repost everything 6ix9ine.
So maybe that's that.
But his thing was, like, he was just upset about, I guess, 6ix9ine and, that's been like years long, whatever going on. Now, I know some people might be like, well, why are you surprised? I'm not surprised at anything. What I'm usually saying is that there's certain people that's in, like, especially in entertainment, that don't realize, like, if 6ix9ine is funny or whatever and he's talking about you and you don't respond and you're just like punching in the air or whatever, I get it. But if you responded, we'd repost the same thing.
Yeah.
So if you said something back in return, we repost it, right? And yeah, pretty much he was just like, yo, listen, man, I really don't want to have no conversation about this. Because I was trying to see exactly where he felt offended about maybe what he felt I did along with 6ix9ine to piss him off. Because if he's mad about something 6ix9ine said that we posted, we're gonna still post what 6ix9ine says. But if you say something, we're gonna post it too. We're not beefing with you.
Yeah.
But so I thought he was gonna be like, yo, well, why would you post this, man? Like this one was objectionable. He wouldn't even get there. He was just like, yo, man, I just want to tell you that shit's not cool, and somebody could get hurt over it. And
so kind of lightweight threat a little bit.
Yeah, I think he was trying to lightweight threaten me. It was like, but listen, I'm sitting there like looking at him like, okay.
Your security was right there next to you.
Yeah, but like the point was that's not the energy I'm even with, and also I could tell I have these situations a lot with artists. Like Jim ain't the first one.
Right.
They're not telling me that I did something. Yo, it's your man's. And I'm like, listen, I'm a blog and I get it. And listen, I do wear that, right? So it's like, if your basis, it's like the Dave Freed thing. He's mad at me, but he's mad at Drake, right? That's who he's really mad at. He just feels like, well, you're on Drake's side. So again, I understood it, and I felt like that was Jim Jones' opportunity to kind of try to like show out. And yeah, we both sat there and watched the performance, and we both did for the same purpose. YoungBoy.
Yeah, look, me and Jim have had sort of a weird history. I did interviews with him early on, I think during the DVD days. So he knows who I am. But then at one point, me and French started rocking together. Okay. And him and French were beefing. It was during the whole Max B era. And French had said some things about him and so forth. And I did the interview with him, right, about that. And I remember there was this one time which really kind of affected the way I was acting around him that night. We were all backstage at BET. And it was like Dipset and me and Jewels are cool during this time, right?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hanging out with Jewels, a bunch of, Freaky Zeke, I think was there, a bunch of the Dipset dudes, whatever. And then Jim comes in, we're like all in this green room at BET. And he goes, shakes everyone's hand, shakes everyone's hand, shakes everyone's hand. He gets to me, he puts his hand out, I put my hand out, and he like lifts his hand up and walks away. And everyone's like, whoa, what just happened? So now I'm uncomfortable, right, with these Dipset dudes around me. And I don't have security or nothing. I'm just by myself.
Oh, man.
Right? And, over the years, he's like, made I saw some comments he made about me here and there and so forth. And we've tried to do interviews with him. And he's always like, everyone I talk to, he's always kind of turned it down and so forth. So now recently, my man Sean Merriman, the football player, he knows him. And he kind of put me on the phone with someone or put me on text with someone that rocks with him. And we're actually talking about potentially doing something.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is I'm very cautious around this dude.
I never met him, so I didn't know. Listen,
well, let me just finish.
Okay.
I was very cautious around him. I wasn't going to talk to him anyways. I was just going to keep my distance.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what his energy was going to be. Yeah. Then I saw y'all get into it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm definitely not going to talk to him now. Yeah. But out of the blue, I'm sitting there, and he like turns around. I guess someone's like, oh, that's Vlad right there. And he turns around, and he reaches out to me to shake my hand. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Yo,
I shook his hand.
He was looking mad the whole time. Like, I don't know what. Yo, I think it's the YoungBoy show. And when you in the YoungBoy show, you feel like
you become a YoungBoy?
Jim 49. He about to turn 50. Jim felt like a YN up in there. Trust me. The way Jim walked in was YN energy. Might as well had it on a shiesty. You know what I mean? So I get it. So he's like, he got his YN shit off. And I mean, the only thing I would say to Jim though is like, I think that should be safe for your actual enemies. Like that type of like demeanor.
Yeah.
Because immediately after that conversation, and again, nothing happened, but immediately after that conversation, the only thing you take away is like, that nigga is not pleasant to deal with. So just avoid him at all costs, because this is like, there's people I've had disagreements with, whatever. I told you, most of my friendships have started with disagreements. I could tell why he's had severe roadblocks in his career. I wouldn't want to deal with him. Just because you could tell. It's like, it gives me like a Dame Dash type of like, wait. I always say some artists don't understand the internet. Like they have zero idea of just how the internet goes. Like it's like when Meek Mill told me, like it was basically almost, well, like his team was saying, like they were upset that people were laughing at him. And I was like, dude, it's not because of the guy who owns the blog why they're laughing at you. They're laughing at you because you don't know how to play every moment. And the internet's gonna have fun at your expense and mine. If you figure out how to deal with certain shit, you would have more pleasant outcomes. I think he's one of those dudes, and I think rather than even tell somebody like him, like, nah, bro, like you gotta, there's like many different ways to skin a cat. Is that the thing? With him, I could tell, like he was just like, I'm super blooded out at the YoungBoy show. I'm on my YN shit. And I'm like, I respect it. I do. I do. Like, so, not rock with Jim, man. Yeah,
maybe
but
this
I
is
do understand why.
Yeah.
Listen, if I'm an executive, if I had 5 names that came up and I heard Jim Jones, I'm good. Why? Because he doesn't seem like, and again, it's just the first time meeting him. So maybe I'm all the way wrong, but when everyone told me the same thing, be like, oh yeah, like, yeah, that's not the type of dude you even walk up to have a conversation with. Like, you just leave him there. That alone tells me it's no way success is going to be in your perspective, like in the music business. You got to deal with all type of people. People you've had problems with, people who may have said something to offend you. Now, that's what I'm saying. If that energy should be saved for your complete enemies, where it's like, we don't need to ever talk again in life. Fuck you.
I mean, look, even after shaking hands with him, I decided not to have a further conversation with him, even though we've been potentially talking about doing an interview.
I'll be chatty with all these niggas. I'll be like, what's up? What up?
You saw I was chatty with everybody.
Yeah.
Except for him. Because even after we shook hands, after seeing y'all's interaction, I'm like, well, we could have a conversation, but what if the conversation goes left? I don't have security with me. I don't want to use your security.
Now we was YoungBoy straight to go now. We good.
Man, listen, I'd rather, because here's the thing. After an interaction like that, and you guys are still in the same space, now there's a level of uncomfortability.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to go through that myself, seeing you had just gone through it.
I'm chilling.
Listen, I think, I know Jim is going to watch this. Like, Jim, I think everyone really admires you because you did not start out as a rapper. You were just an entourage member for Cameron, right? Cameron was the rapper, then Jewels was like the rapper, that was like the second, the young rapper, whatever. You were like just part of the crew and you stepped it up.
Yeah.
You actually have is Ballin' the biggest song out of Dipset?
Shoot, one of them.
I think it is.
Yeah, one of them.
The dude that wasn't
maybe,
even thinking about.
No, I think maybe Ballin'. Ballin'.
Ballin'. I think, out of everyone in that crew, with you not starting off with rap being your real passion.
If like you trying to give him a pep talk, he's about to be 50. Like he's like
I'm
this.
52.
No, trust. No. You hear what I'm saying?
I'm older than him.
Nobody gets to 50 and be like, you know what? Let me change my ways. No,
that's not true. That's not true.
What?
That's not true. Anyone can change.
You know what it helped me realize though?
Change.
You know what it helped me realize? Like, because also, again, before this, and I mean, even I take these, like, it's a reason I could not go nowhere. I go places that if I see you, you know what I mean? As long as we not fighting, bro, like, I argue with people all day. It's fine. So, but it made me understood why, like, even him and Cam, their situation looks like that. Cam looks hilarious, and then he looks upset. You see, it's those subtle things is why the internet perceives something, right? It perceives like you don't have a point and you're bitter. Versus Cam, he seems like he's loving life and he's having a great, just those simple things. Now, do I think Cam is a pushover? Hell nah. I'm pretty sure he just has a different way of, but with Jim, it kind of came off angry, like just super angry. And I don't know, man, I wish the best for him. Ooh, I'm pretty sure we bump into each other again. We'll hopefully be on better terms.
Well, my Tekashi video is being rolled out.
Yeah.
Clip by clip. By the way, you're the reason why I decided to do this interview.
Yeah,
because
good.
Tekashi was asking for a bag that I'd never paid before. It was the most I ever paid for an interview. Mm-hmm. It was more than what Marlon Wayans was asking for, right? Minus the 30% on the back end. Tekashi wasn't doing all that nonsense. But, he asked for a big bag. At first, it fell apart because he basically wanted me to pay the taxes on it. And I said, well, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to pay this plus the taxes. I could take the taxes out and give you what's left. He didn't want to do that. I'm like, all right, so we're not going to do it. But then, his hearing was coming up, and then the Young Thug snitching thing came up, and they reached back and said, no, we want to do it. We'll sign the W-9. We'll do everything above board and so forth, right? So we decided to do it. I gave him the bag, and you were right. He's like, yo, this is going to be a good investment. This is going to be a huge interview. And it's turning out to be a huge interview.
I think it's going to be the biggest interview this year.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's easily going to be the biggest. It might already be the biggest interview. It's at like 4.5. I think it's approaching like 5 million combined views already. And we're only like maybe a third, 40% into it. We still have a lot. And we still haven't dropped the full interview. So it was an interesting interview, man. And I got to say, this is the first time that me and Tekashi really, we ran into each other once and had like a little 30-second conversation. But this is the first time we really sat down. I was at his home in Florida. Very gracious, very professional, did exactly what he promised to do. The money situation got worked out. Everyone did exactly what they said they were going to do. There was no bullshit. There was no underhanded from any kind of situation. And now me and him have a relationship, and now we talk on a regular basis. And he was like, no, man, you can't put out all that. You got to do this. I'm like, Tekashi, trust me. Like, I know what I'm doing with my audience. and he's seen it. It's blown up. It's all over TikTok. It's all over Twitter. It's all over IG. And every day everyone's waiting for the next clip.
Yeah, it stretched this moment of the interview, you know? Like, he could have, you drop it all in once, it probably shuts the internet down for a week, right? You do it this way, 3 months in, you still talk about this shit.
No, I think he's happy.
No, he
I
is.
think he's happy
He is.
with what's happened.
Yes.
And it was a great interview, and we'll see if maybe we'll do another one.
Shit, after you release a Jim Jones party, but you better not want to see Jim Jones.
I don't even know. Like, I'm trying to think. Because, well,
I know you definitely talked about it.
I think when we talked about Cardi B and possibly Jim Jones, but what he said was he didn't bring the names up. He said that it was a cross-examination, and they asked him about those people, so he answered the question. But, you know, I mean, it's an interesting interview. And it was great because I have so much content around his story with, like, Sarah Molina, Billy Addo.
I didn't know you did Foo Banger.
Foo Banger, right. Foo Banger was another guy that I interviewed. Kuda B. Like, so all these pieces, they could be used to create more of a documentary kind of feel to the interview as opposed to just, here's a talking head, you know, as well as all the social media footage, the photos that he posted, everything else like that, I think tells a very interesting story. And people are like, oh, well, there's already been that Tekashi documentary on Hulu. Yeah, but...
Nah, that documentary don't do nothing. Trust me.
Yeah.
That documentary is garbage.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
It's never... You've never heard his whole life story his perspective.
Nah, the real story, like, shit, even with me hearing it, the real story is like he's telling you it's true. Yo, the dude, he has a song that he and the guy he collaborates with, Trife Drew. Well, Trife Drew really has a song. It's called Stuck in Dubai. Yeah, they went to Dubai. They found out the feds was on him. They found out the driver was, I think I said it one time. Yo, 6ix9ine called me one day because the driver hit me up saying he got fired. And I was cool with the driver because when we would be at places, the driver would come get me at the door. So the driver's like, man, he fired me. And I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, you know, ever since he came from Dubai, like he's been losing it. The guy was, I knew he wasn't like, his papers wasn't right. 6ix9ine was paying him. I knew he had a family. I'm like, damn, don't tell me 6ix9ine's changing up. Like, just, like I'm seeing new niggas around him now. So, you know, luckily I had that type of influence with him. Like, y'all could pull him to the side and be like, yo, let me just talk to him, like, just see what's going on. Anyway, when I'm talking to him, he said, yo, I fired him because I found out that he's working with the feds.
Yeah, he was an informant.
Which was right.
He was right, yeah.
But 6ix9ine went to Dubai. He fills the story out on your podcast when he says, yo, I broke my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, I remember him telling me one day, it's like, yo, when he's walking outside, it's like the block was like, just in the scope of one day. It went from regular cars, like, oh, I know that's car up there. Oh, that's so-and-so's car. Mad white vehicles, it's just like those trucks that you could tell like they're surveilling you. And yeah, like he was kind of getting spooked, and I think he fills it out. I think that's the better documentary because what they're talking about is, we get it. The music is great, and if you follow that arc, cool, and some of the TMZ stories, cool, but you want to find out what does a guy do when he's literally about to be in a mousetrap. I guess I'm pun intended in reality. But yeah, like there's a lot of these untold stories. So I think, you know, you got pretty much most of them. I would imagine you got most of them because he's going to tell them, which I think the documentaries before, they were always talking about things that all the newsworthy stuff, which was a lot, but this was the best parts of it, you know? Like, yeah, he goes to film the that's how he met the girl that held him down in jail. He goes to film the fucking video with Nicki Minaj and Ye, and the house gets shot up.
Yeah, we talk about that.
You hear what I'm saying? And he flew the girls out. That's when him and Sarah Molina, I think they got kicked off because because, you know, it's his baby moms, but they were like on and off. I think he started popping out with these new girls. Yes. It was a lot, man. But it's I think that's one of the actual stories you'll be able to tell all throughout, because most of the real details of most stories don't come out, but everything mostly came out in court. So like now they could talk about it, like legit talk about it.
Yeah, what was interesting was, remember that whole like Rap-A-Lot robbery situation?
Yeah.
And he filmed it, and then he sent it to you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so you're self-snitching? Nah, I broke my phone, and they subpoenaed Akademiks. I'm like, you filmed a crime and sent it to somebody.
I never uploaded it.
Doesn't matter. You're still recording a crime, and they can access your phone even if you delete the video.
Nigga, you know
it's self-snitching. Am I right?
You're right, but let me give you context to that.
Okay.
Bro, when they came to get my phone, that shit was smashed in Switzerland. Remember, Don, when I smashed it in Greece? Before I got out the pool, I smashed my phone. I didn't know.
But they still got the footage, though.
Huh?
They still got that footage.
Yeah, because I sent it to Akademiks.
I've seen it.
And Akademiks got subpoenaed.
Oh, okay.
Bro, you see?
That's how I found out why they wanted my phone.
Yeah, you got subpoenaed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're self-snitching. He's like, all right, I guess I'm self-snitching. Right?
They subpoenaed me, and they told me, yo, when I did with a lawyer, they said, yo, check this out. Yo, either you give us the full video now watermark. They were keen about the full video. They didn't want a watermark. And said, or we put you in front of the grand jury. And I want to go in front of the grand jury. It wasn't like a threat though. It wasn't a threat. It was just basically like, they were like, listen, we know everything about you. This is how I could tell. They were watching this guy for a long time. Like, they were watching for such a long time. And they're like, listen, you know, this is not for that. We know you ain't do nothing. But we need this video. So, but the Rap-A-Lot stuff, that was, yeah, that's what people don't realize. And this is why, you know, and I hate to keep, you know, utilizing this Jim Jones thing, but this is why I tell artists, you got to learn to work with media. Forget some of the stuff, the actual things 6ix9ine did. What made him big, and for any artist who's listened to it, you don't got to be me. Get a media guy. This is a formula. I don't know. Yo, the dudes who's like extra tough with it, yo, let me tell you, media phases you out. You're gonna be done. You can't fight media, trust. It could be Sean Cotton, it could be an up-and-coming blogger. Yo, sometimes you might want to leak some shit to him. Give him the real shit. Every time some shit would happen, yo, 6ix9ine right after that fight at the airport with Rap-A-Lot dudes. Nigga, I woke up, 60 calls. He's like, yo, you gotta report this right now. I just got in a fight with them J Prince Rap-A-Lot niggas. Report it now. He said, I was blowing up your phone because TMZ had a camera right there. I want you to get it. So that, and also, why would he do that, right? Because some people's like, well, self-snitching. Well, let me get ahead of it to also set the narrative. That way y'all see the video, be like, oh, it's kind of what he said. Yo, we seen him. Yo, they said something about us talking to a girl. Yo, we just set it off on him, popped him. Who knows? Them dudes might have been trolling about something else, or maybe from their perspective, that's why they're getting into it. 6ix9ine does set the narrative already. That's what I'm telling. I tell artists, like, mad artists want to be like Playboy Cardi and that who appears to not deal with the media. I talk to Playboy Cardi all the time. Every artist who act like they're not on the internet, they know how to deal with the media in a roundabout way. Trust me. So the ones that I see that don't know how to deal with the media, I'm like, okay, he in the wrong profession. Like, he should be a street fighter, like a UFC type of guy.
Now listen, I feel like having the right media partner as an artist is almost as important as having the right production partner. When you look at most artists that blow, like new artists, there's usually a producer that's making the beats with them, and they're grinding up and they create a sound.
Yo, Vlad, 6ix9ine used to call me and the TMZ and they go on three-way. Give us both the info at the same time. Yo, it's gonna be out of there. Like, yo, one thing he realized, and also, you know, he a man with no shame. So it's like, you know, he wouldn't be like, yo, bro, this is embarrassing, bro. Like, don't.
Nope.
Nah, run it.
Run it.
Run it.
Run it.
You get what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm telling you, he's someone who I always said he was a better marketer than he was a rapper, and he got some slaps, but he could run a campaign to get anybody hot.
Nah, it's true, man. It's true. And you know what's funny though, like, because the comments is always the funniest shit you're ever gonna read, right? Because throughout the interview, he's like, yo, I go on every drill. I go on every drill. You know, I was talking about like the whole Rap-A-Lot thing, and him Phil was, yeah, see? That's what I'm saying. I go on every drill. I go on every drill. And in the comments, sitting outside of the car filming from a safe distance. That's not exactly like going on the drill.
Nah. He gets to take credit for that because they actually mentioned this in court. Like, they felt them niggas called the cops. So, like, there was cops in the vicinity. Shotty gave him the gun, and he had to get out of the car and take it on the.
Oh, that's the reason behind it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So they thought the cops was gonna pull up on him, and that's what he brought it to the house, and then he brought the backpack there. That's why he was also weary about snitching, because he felt somebody was cooperating, because only a few people knew that the gun and the backpack were at his house. You get what I'm saying? And apparently, like, he was telling, like, you know, this is alleged, right? But he was telling Shotty, like, yo, Shotty, come get a gun. Come get it. Come pick it up. Come pick it. It's at my house. Like, and they never did. And the cops did a raid, and they found it.
Yeah. Well, still a lot left in this interview for everyone that's watching. Just this
He
will
went
not
on the drill
disappoint.
though. We got to keep it a beat. I'm on the drill. Yo, if the cops circle around and y'all say they ain't never gonna pat Act down, we got face tats, shiesties on, we got decorated. Give it to Act, and I gotta take the weapon and go on the subway, and I'm Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Oh, he went on the subway after?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They let him out of the car.
I didn't know that part.
Yes,
you didn't mention
I'm on
that.
the drill with y'all. I'm
You
on the
didn't
drill.
mention that
Yeah.
Well, you addressed this. There's a rumor that Iceman is going to be Drake's last album on Universal.
I wouldn't say last album. It's the one that fulfills the contract.
Oh, okay.
It's the one that fulfills the contract.
So after that, he's a free agent.
Yeah, but you see, when you speak on this and you're not in Drake's business, like actually, like his lawyer or whoever negotiated, probably Mr. Morgan or whatever, you have to you have to realize this is a very malleable situation where it's like, let's relate it to basketball. No basketball team would let Michael Jordan at his height become an unrestricted free agent. You're always gonna give him, it's like in football, they do the franchise tag, right? Like, you don't let your big player ever really touch the open market, right? Because you're gonna get outpriced yourself. So I don't think Drake, I've personally said I don't think he's leaving Universal at all. But I do think that they're gonna have to overpay a bit. And I think that what's gonna happen is, I think we see another collab album after this, because they're gonna do, every time they do a collab album, from what I hear, there's probably some type of addendum. You know, it's like, so we keep stringing it along and then we see. But I don't know, like, again, this is info from me, not from Drake, because, you know, you talk, it's only so much you talk to a man about. He might not let you up in his bank account, right? I don't see him walking away from that. I just don't see him. Like no one, it wouldn't make sense on paper for anyone to pay him more than Universal could either. Why? His catalog's already there that they could leverage. They could leverage it for revenue that's coming in, and they could leverage it for why they would want to give him more money for more albums, because the way it works in streaming, the newer albums you drop helps the back catalog. So you're leveraging giving him more money because you're gonna get it back from the back catalog getting increased.
Well, but you would get it back even if you went somewhere else, because you still own the back catalog if you're Universal and he goes to, like, let's say Sony.
Yeah, but if you're Sony,
If he drops a new album on Sony, the Universal back catalog will start to get streamed as well.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Let's just put random dollar amounts on the table. Say Drake says he wants $500 million. Well, if for Universal, let's say you've done your math, and you know these are big firms, these are billion-dollar companies. They're gonna say, you're really worth like 280 right now, right? Obviously not gonna go from 280 to 500. So let's say like you're really worth 400, $100 extra million. Like, they'll probably pull the trigger on it if that's the number Drake wants before he goes to Sony and gets that. Why? They could leverage the fact that they have his catalog. Sony has to only recoup from what they have. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So why would Sony want to give him more than they would think he's valued at? Well, they have nothing else to leverage.
Well, but then they start an ongoing long-term relationship.
Drake is 37. Drake is 37. Drake is 37 and he's dropped about 8 albums on Universal. Right? Do you want to? It's like LeBron James. Do you want to trade the entire team now for LeBron James?
That's
Or
a good point.
if somebody says, I don't know who the new guy is, would you get him for a way cheaper price?
Well, here's the alternative, of course. Drake leaves Universal and goes completely independent. Do you think that'll ever happen? Now, you've seen Meek do it, and it's not working out for him, it seems. But of course, Meek is not Drake on any level. So do you think Drake could be that artist that goes fully independent and ends up making even more money than anybody?
Nah.
Why? Because the radio play that's controlled by the major labels won't like favor him and the
I think the basis of it,
Spotify playlist. I don't know though, but Drake is different.
No. The basis of his lawsuit, I think, when I look at his lawsuit, I said that's label shit. That's what labels do. Everything. Whatever you're accusing them of doing, I'm like, yeah, that's what labels do for y'all hot artists. Like, this has no, like, some... So, if you're blowing the whistle and saying that's foul play, that means if you went independent, you wouldn't be trying to do foul play, which means you ain't gonna be successful. So, if you're saying...
But no, but you could use the same tactics.
Impossible. No, but that means... If I'm saying, okay, let's put this in sports analogy. Yo, I'm done playing in the NBA because they allow James Harden and Vlad to do 5 steps and they don't call it a travel. That's why I'm gonna leave the NBA. And I go to the FIBA league and I go over there and they basically say to become the number 1 player in this league, you probably gotta do 5 steps too. Why the hell did I leave the NBA? The thing is, the music industry, you cannot win on that large of a level unless you're playing the game. The game is dictated by these 3 behemoths, and you could try. We've never seen. Look how easy they done wiped out Kanye.
Well, Kanye wiped himself out. Let's keep it 100.
Well, okay, you're saying by his actions.
Kanye wiped himself out.
But what I'm saying is that
you can't say when Kanye left Def Jam, suddenly his music career went down for no reason other than
you're not getting what I'm
Def
saying.
Jam.
It's once these entities determine that you aren't in their game anymore, it's hard to sustain that visibility, right? It's the same thing with, all right, so let's say you leave Live Nation and say, well, I'm gonna still do arenas and stadiums.
That's a little different. It's
the same thing.
No, because Live Nation has a monopoly over all the large stadiums, essentially.
The 3 music labels have a monopoly over music. They own part of Spotify. They own part of the DSPs.
Spotify is a public company. Owning a part of Spotify does not mean that you control Spotify. You just own a part of Spotify. You and I, if we buy Spotify stock, we own a part of Spotify.
Part of their ownership was leveraged for the fact that they have to license. If any time, right, Spotify has to have these deals with Universal, Sony, and Warner, because if all 3 at any moment said, we're pulling our catalog, if those catalogs are off of there, Spotify's done. That's a fact. It's done. Which means the game is determined by the players who are needed there for every entity to exist. The number one thing that Universal, Warner, and Sony always have to leverage is the catalog. And until, what do you think Drake's gonna make music till infinity? He's gonna be that effective till infinity? Radio, again, it's not like Drake has a conglomerate around him, like artists that's down to do the same. If Drake had remember when they started the title thing? That sounded great in theory. But everyone pointed out then, all these people are in contracts. Right around then, all those Lucian said, we're done with exclusives because Drake pulled that stunt. Well, Apple Music really. Larry Jackson through Apple Music pulled a stunt with the exclusives back to back where we get Drake and The Weeknd who had their album only up on Apple Music. Lucian Grain said, we're done giving any platform exclusive window. By the way, it's such a complex thing that even now, you can't even leak a song on any DSPs. They get mad. Another DSP would get mad, especially a big artist. So the point of me even saying that is that those having the catalog in those three companies, they dictate the game. So it's not like Drake have a bunch of people to say, we're going over here to build this. So again, could he do it independently? Yes, but I don't think he believes in some of the stuff you have to do.
I guess
if I'm an artist,
yeah, I guess he feels he can't dominate the way he did independently.
If I'm an artist, I'm taking steroids like the rest of you niggas. I'm getting my fair share of bottom. I'm getting my fair share of let's just say wink wink payola. We gotta get our stuff going. Like there's a fan that's somewhere sitting like, the reason these guys get played on the radio like a million miles per hour is because people just love them. Yeah, all right. It takes money.
Well, I mean, DJ Envy was here the other day, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about the whole Drake lawsuit and so forth. And he feels that, not only losing the battle, but then suing the label over losing the battle has kind of made people look at Drake differently for the first time in his career.
I don't think it's the same the way people look at Drake. Like, I think it
people or the industry?
both.
Yeah?
I think it's a bad taste in people's mouths when you do something like that. It almost makes you feel like you're a sore loser.
Now, I'm saying, well, I don't know about that. Do the fans really care about lawsuits? Do the fans really get into the weeds like that? Because his last album with Party Next Door, I thought was a great album, and I feel like it had some hit songs on there. I mean, it's a collab album.
He's always gonna make good music.
Yeah, so it's like if he drops Iceman and there's a bunch of smashes on there, do they really care about this lawsuit? And he feels that people do. Do you agree or disagree?
People do.
People do?
People do. It's a huge PR hit. Huge. And that's why I think, this would have been better if Drake somehow took the PR strategy of Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, the only person that went up against the labels, and they somewhat caved. When she said that, hey, listen, y'all are paying us dirt for streams, and that's not fair, and I'd rather my music not get streamed. If that's what y'all gonna pay us, because that's unfair. You're just stealing my work at that point. And that was a call that people could rally around, and they actually it wasn't labels, it was Spotify. It was DSPs actually. It was DSPs.
And what did she actually accomplish? Because from what I understand, nothing changed.
No, they increased the payout.
Did they?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. But you see, when Taylor did that, Taylor packaged it as, I'm standing for artists. Even when she gets her masters back, she says, I'm standing for artists who are getting taken advantage of by those people. When Drake first announced his lawsuit, I think we were like, yeah, okay, we rocking. And then at some point, I felt like, and I think it's a lack of communication. It's like Colin Kaepernick. The kneeling sounded lit at first. And after a while, I'd be like, hey, bro, we just kneeling for no reason? Like, you ain't telling us nothing. It don't look like it's, okay, no, this is what we're accomplishing. And people would be like, man, Jay-Z, go host that Super Bowl. So I think that's where Drake has lost the messaging a bit. And I think for the people who have thought about him differently, that's where their mindset comes from. You can look it up. Taylor Swift, she wrote a letter to the industry. She always starts with a letter. Taylor loved writing letters. She wrote a letter about how her as an artist is taking advantage. That's her play. I like that play too. I like it.
Yeah, you're right, actually. 2018.
Yeah.
Directly influenced a significant payout to her fellow artists.
Come on.
Through UMG, which include a commitment for UMG to distribute to Spotify earnings to its musician when it sold its stake in the platform.
Russ even said he got a check. He got a check from like DistroKid or whatever, or wherever he was uploading, because there was they came to an agreement, and then there was an additional pay, like money that was also disbursed, and then every artist got some, depending on who you were. And yeah, everybody got whatever, and the rates changed a little bit. Not sizable, but enough to make Taylor shut up. Because when Taylor's mad, Taylor's the ultimate Karen. I love her. But like when she's upset, nothing is good. You get what I'm saying?
Well, you advise that Drake leave Kendrick alone in his new music. Do you think that's gonna happen?
Nah, but when I mean leave him alone, we got to leave the moment. There's no more direct engaging. We ain't no more diss songs. It's over. So he's supposed to sneak diss him. That's what he always does. He's got to do the Jay-Z approach.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, after this battle, it should be Drake's last. Like, why engage with rappers that you, in any of these situations, you have nothing to gain? Like, would you go on a business deal that you got nothing to gain?
Well, wait, yeah. Hold on. I feel when he beat Meek Mill, it raised him up a notch. Back to Back was a big song in his career. I feel it was one of his biggest songs. Right or wrong? Back to Back?
Hell no.
In terms of overall significance, not just a stream.
Back to Back, not even a top 20 song in Drake's.
In terms of, no, not in the streams, because was it released on streaming?
Yeah, it's on streaming. I bump that junk all the time.
Hold on, let's take a look at what Back to Back did.
I'm in a rave playing AR app. It's a world tour growth. That's my joint.
It got almost 500 million streams.
Yeah, that's every Drake song.
It's not every Drake song.
Yo, Drake just dropped some Lucy's. I got 100 mil right now. Like, literally just dropped a couple more. Yo, this guy is just a monster.
His song with Central C is at about 100 million.
Vlad, he just dropped it. This shit been out for a decade.
Okay, the only songs he has that are bigger than Back to Back.
Cap. If you're looking on Spotify.
I'm looking on Spotify.
No, you gotta look on the full list. That's on popularity. You're looking. You can't sort by full numbers.
Okay.
It's popularity over the last day.
Okay, well, when I'm looking at Spotify right now,
Yeah.
which is, and there are a bunch of older songs on here. The only songs that are bigger than Back to Back, One Dance is 3.8 billion. Headlines is about 1 billion. Passion Fruit is about 2 billion. God's Plan, almost 3 billion. And then She Will is about the same, but that's a Lil Wayne song.
Hotline Bling is gonna be bigger.
Hotline Bling? Let's take a look.
Of course. Hotline Bling? Tootsie Slide? Come on, Vlad.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Hotline Bling is 1.5 billion. All right, I see what you're saying.
Non-stop
yeah, once you
bigger.
get in the weeds, yeah, you're right.
Yo, Drake,
Well, okay, look, but I'm just saying
it's one of the more impactful songs. I give you that.
impactful. Like in terms of
Yeah,
like when
yeah,
you
yeah.
look at
Yeah,
him,
that's a fact. I give
when
you
you're
that.
not getting into the weeds, you say, okay, look, you look at Drake, when he announces his retirement
Yeah.
and says, I'm not recording anything else. I'm gonna go on an oldies tour every so often and do my old hits and then go back to my mansion. When they look at him as a whole, when they do a behind
He's
the
not
music,
playing the song.
well, I think that when you look at his career, I feel like that was a pivotal moment. It was an
Definitely
important
pivotal.
song. Culturally, it was very important. The fact that he beat a real battle rapper like Meek Mill, who was a street guy and had was out there in the street, going back and forth with people. And, he threw everything he had at Drake. And Drake was the singing dude, which he even, what do you say? You get bodied by a singing N-word?
Getting
Like,
bodied by a singing nigga, man.
right. That was a hard line. Come on. Like, yo. And
Drake must have felt like Thanos walking out of that studio
listen,
that
it was
day,
the first time, really, since Hit 'Em Up, that you had a hit song be a diss song. Now, of course, Just Like Us kind of, I think, surpassed that
Not
quite a
Like
bit.
Us. Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm saying, up at that point, it was the biggest hit diss song of all time. Hit 'Em Up never got that type of radio play and so forth. It was more of an underground song. It was never a real single. I mean, yeah, I guess it kind of was because there's a video.
Wasn't
But I'm
half
just
of like
saying,
50 Cent's like songs like this songs to like Ja Rule and them though?
what do you mean?
Half of 50's like, yo, I Smell Pussy is like a Ja Rule diss
Yeah,
song.
but that wasn't a big song for 50.
Wankster?
Wankster was sort of the first single, but then In the Club was when he really got in the big leagues.
Window Shopper?
Not a big song. An important song, but not a big song. When you look at 50's biggest
No,
songs,
I'm not saying compared to like back to back. I mean, hip hop has just grown since then. That's number one.
Yeah.
Like all these songs dwarf songs back then.
yeah,
Just
look,
really popular.
look at all 50's biggest songs. In the Club, 21 Questions, Candy Shop, Ayo
Yeah, a lot of
Technology,
songs
just
for
a little
women.
bit. None of those are diss songs. We can keep going. PIMP, Many Men, Baby by Me. Well, Window
Many Men's a
Shopper.
diss song.
Window Shopper's number 9.
Many Men's a diss song.
Sort of. He's not really naming people though.
Seven niggas shot me and 3 days later they not breathing. Yeah, what? He was definitely
That part of the story is not true, actually.
Oh man,
The guy who actually shot him.
Vlad, don't tell me no more, man. I like it. I think it is true. That shit hit harder when that. When
Nah,
I think
we
it's true.
actually, because I interviewed one of the detectives that went into that whole case, and he actually.
You put it out?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, don't put that out, man. I want to believe that shit.
Nah, I put it out. Me and Tony Ayo even talked about it. Now, according to Punch, who's the president of TDE,
Yeah.
Drake writes the captions for Akademiks TV. How does he have the time between all the recording and the touring? He actually writes captions for you?
Yo, the conspiracy.
Can you write my captions too? Because I need a caption writer like him.
Yo, you know what's so funny about that? They asked me about that in the Meg Thee Stallion deposition too. It's like they really think Drake is just like running my page. Let me tell you this, and I think I should officially put it on the record. I do have an opportunity to hire Drake, and I'm not bullshitting, because we have an open bet. Drake had told me during the battle when Kendrick dropped Meet the Grams, on the third verse, he mentions that Drake has a unclaimed 11-year-old daughter.
Okay.
When I had talked to Drake about that, and I said, brother, not again. Is this true? He says, Akademiks, so I will give you my word. If you or anybody finds proof, and I got $1 million if somebody could, because I want Drake, I'll make the $1 million if Drake works for me, okay? Drake says if somebody brought the daughter and presented proof that that's his daughter, he would quit rapping and he would come work for me.
Okay.
So that's the only time you're gonna get Drake writing some captions now.
Okay.
You're gonna see Wagwan Crody, like that's what you're gonna see as the captions all day.
Okay.
Right? But no, he doesn't. He doesn't. I've always said, I'm a pro Drake guy, and I hate that politics. We're like rappers like politics. I'm a pro Drake guy. Most of the people who end up running pages that are either for me or just fit within the brand, they are usually supporters, or they definitely come from the audience of me. If you're watching me and I'm a pro Drake guy, you're probably a pro Drake guy too, right? And that's usually probably the energy and the spirit in their captions. And for whatever reason, I think they want us to slander Drake. So I think Punch doesn't like it when Drake isn't getting his back kicked in. And also I think I do want to see how this battle ages, because the way it ages really good, and it's been good so far in Kendrick's favor, is when you say, yo, I washed that nigga and he was done. Like, respectfully, we ain't got to say the name. That's the part about the battle that you're like, yo, this nigga was finished afterwards. You need him to be done. Like, you can't spray the block up and the nigga back playing basketball next week. What the hell? Like, yo, what type of bullets you bro? Where the 5.56 is at? You gotta lay him down. So Drake's a little resilient motherfucker. He always gonna come back with a hit song. So I think they don't like, a part of them, they don't like some of the narratives that's saying, yo, Drake's just still a bigger artist and he's doing better, and I think they kind of want more of, some of the things, and you could latch on to them. Hey, Drake hasn't done a tour in the United States since. That's a good narrative, right? Like, oh shit, he's scared to come back. Oh man, we ran him out of the States.
He can't do LA anymore.
He can't do that no more.
Yeah.
Damn, right? So I think they would probably, want stuff like that. But unfortunately, Punch is wrong. But I want to sit down with Punch. I want to have a conversation. You see, when I look at rap music and shit like that, and I don't know if you want to sit down with me, because after the Dave Free shit, some of these niggas, they taking this shit extra personal, which I understand.
I just ran into Top
bro?
recently. Yeah, the sushi spot in LA.
Yo, every time I have a problem with someone, especially if I'm only taking it as just music, I'm like, at some point, we should collide with our ideas face to face rather than I'm talking about him or he's tweeting this about me. I don't know if he's down to do that, but he's wrong about that one.
I mean, I think he was just joking in a way.
No, he's not.
Oh, he was serious?
They were serious.
Oh, okay.
Because SZA told Drake, or asked Drake, after me and Dave Free ran to each other at a show, Dave Free went back. This is a bad game of telephone. Dave Free told, I think he thought he heard from me that Drake runs the page. I told him, I said, because it was asking, yo, why is one of your pages so critical of SZA? I said, well, listen, Drake communicates with people on my team. When I had problems with SZA and I was slandering her and Drake was doing his last album, right? Let me not use the word slander because I don't know why it's, these female rappers and songstress are suing now. But when I was giving my opinion about her, right? That may have not been that nice for her. Drake was trying to record his last album. He was trying to do 2 songs with her, Rich Baby Daddy and Slime Me Out. Drake said he got her in the studio. She couldn't really do no music. She was crying the whole time. When he figured out why she crying over something I said on Twitch. Drake called me up. He said, yo, man, I really rock with this girl. She's really cool. She's a pure soul. Like, he really fucks with her. And he's like, yo, listen, I know you too. You know, I can never tell you what to do, but like, yo, trying to get the song done. And, from what I feel like I know about you, this ain't that serious, bro. Could you like, bring the heat level down a little bit? And I said, yo, Drake, wait. It feels like I'm standing in the way of your music getting released. Oh, hell nah. I cleaned it up immediately. I said, SZA, I love you, baby girl. Cut that song. Like, she's cool. It's not that serious to me. So when I'm hearing she's tearing up, bawling, I'm like, what the hell? So what I said to Dave Free, I said, ever since the battle, people kind of put SZA on the opposite side, like she's rocking with Kendrick. I said, so if you see a page that's, associated with me, and they're saying things that's critical of SZA, I said, Drake must not give a fuck if he's not, because he reached out before. He reached out before and be like, yo, bro, whatever, right? That got relayed, so I guess he went in the back and told SZA, nah, ask that Drake writing them captions. So SZA hits Drake.
Huh.
Be like, yo, you writing Akademiks captions dissing me? Drake hit me. Drake said, yo, Ak, bro, I know you wasn't that scared of that TDE concert. You just told him a lie that I'm writing your captions. I said, what? Never told him that. I clarified it in response to that tweet and afterwards, but I ain't gonna lie. I guess the lie's always more entertaining. So like, Drake write the captions.
Well, I'll cut this out if you want me to, just because it was a private conversation. So it's up to you right now. You know me.
Oh yeah.
Like, I cut out stuff.
Yeah.
Remember how we said the Kanye stuff? We
Yeah.
Don't say we blurt out your mouth or
Yeah.
whatever else. It never came out, right? Can you say who Drake would potentially do an interview with?
Nah, I can't say it.
Can't say that?
If I say it, I feel like he's gonna ruin it.
Okay.
Gonna ruin it.
Can I leave what we're saying right now?
Yeah.
And just let people kind of,
I'm trying to.
Can the rumor mill go crazy? Because I know who it is.
Yeah.
You know who it is. But it was a private conversation.
Yeah.
So it's up to you to say it if you don't want to say it.
Nah.
Can I leave this part here, though?
Hey, listen.
Just like this?
Yeah.
Okay. So people can try to figure out.
In the history of music, I'm always, the things I'm most proud about is when I could make 2 things that happen that sometimes I'm not involved in. Like, I'm not always like self-serving, like, oh, okay, all right, let's do this. As long as I get all the, but we'll see. I'm trying to,
You won't believe
I know you
who
want to.
Drake is considering doing an interview with. And it's not who you think it is. To everyone watching right now, it's crazy. It's so left field.
It'll be legendary.
No one will see it coming.
It'll be legendary.
Well, we spoke about Tory Lanez. I ran into his dad.
Word?
Yeah, did I tell you this?
Pray for you?
What?
Did he pray for you? You're a reverend.
Did he what me?
Pray for you.
No, he did not pray for me.
Oh,
No, he did
yeah.
not pray
I
for me.
always say, he has such a powerful voice. Like, he's like, I feel like I'd be like running up the collection plate at his church.
Well, we were, I don't want to say where, because this was like a, this is a family
That's your spot.
thing. It wasn't my spot, but we were at a kid's
Oh, okay. Yeah,
place
yeah,
where there's lots of kids around.
Yeah.
And we all had our kids, or, I don't know if it was this,
Funplex
cousins or something. It was like one of these kids type things, kids type places. And like, I remember seeing him, I'm like, oh, that kind of looks like, because he's got like the tattoo hairline thing going on, right?
He had a tattoo hairline?
Yes.
Oh, man.
That's actually how I recognized him. I'm like, I think that's Tory's dad. And this other dude that was with him approached me. He's like, oh, what's up, Vlad? I'm so-and-so. I'm trying to, he was trying to get an interview for someone he knows or whatever, and we're talking like, okay, just take my number down. We can figure something out. And he's like, oh, you want to meet Tory's dad? And I'm like, sure, why not? Why not? So they introduced us, and, my thing was, goes, oh, yeah, I heard you said some things about my son. And so I'm like, well, I'm face to face. So I'm not going to change my story. I'm going to be like, well, yeah. I mean, what I said was I think that he should have taken the stand. And I think that if he didn't do it, he should have stood up and said that someone else did it. Oh, man, but he couldn't do that, for the whole snitching thing. I'm like, nah, I understand. But, I just feel like in this case, I wouldn't go and if this really is the truth that someone else actually shot her, I would not go to jail over that shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially
someone. Yeah, I done changed my mind on that, man. I think you should have told too. Like, everybody got interrogation tape, man. And
yeah, at
everybody's
this point, it just doesn't
come
matter.
on, like, you in jail for 10 years. Like, I'd have been like, y'all need to redo.
Exactly.
Bring the mics back in. Come in.
But we shook hands. We exchanged numbers. I reached out. I said, listen, if you ever want a platform, I'll gladly, have you on my platform, and I'll let you say your piece. People think I have something against Tory. I do not.
I need some new Tory music, man.
Yeah, but here's something interesting. Like, I have a lawyer that I know, and she said something that I never realized before.
Yeah.
Because, Tory's getting appeal. Oh, look at this evidence. He's going to get out. And, we got Rep Luna behind it and blah, blah. She told me something I never realized because she's a lawyer and I'm just a bootleg lawyer. Do you know what percentage of appeals actually are successful?
Probably, I would say under 10%.
Nope, lower.
I mean, well, it's under 10%. So a 5? Or
lower.
2%?
Yes. 2% of appeals actually go through. You have as much chance to get a successful appeal as you do being the feds in trial.
However, I will say this, though.
Now, it has happened, right? People have beat the feds and people have gotten appeals. But it's so rare.
But we also have to analyze how many people are going through an appeal with $1 million legal team, right? So I think that the chances probably raised up a little bit. Not saying it's gonna happen, but shoot, if I'm him, I'm using all the millions. You ain't get all these millions for nothing. Yeah,
no,
put it to
I get
work.
it. No, he should, especially after getting stabbed the way he was and everything else like that. Absolutely, he should, but he has to go into it realizing, and everyone else, all the fans, because I know all my fans like free Tory, and when I was doing polls, 80% of them said he's going to beat it and everything else like that. All of them are wrong. That you got to look into it and say, look, in order to get an appeal.
Yo, Vlad, you love that I told you so shit.
Well,
you do it like, he been locked up for like 3 years now. Listen, at this point, like it's one of those like fuck that case. Like I be just thinking that he got a family, he got kids, and for me, it's much more of, damn, it's just not a clear situation of what happened. Like I still don't feel like that way after the trial, but I do wish the best for him, given the fact that at the end of the day, yeah, like some people feel like I'm like, yeah, I thought he was gonna defeat the case. No, he lost. I'm wrong. Who cares?
Yeah, that's
like,
your man, though. That's your man. You were supposed to think like that.
Yeah,
when that's your friend.
Well, I thought I was making educated decisions.
Really?
And also,
really?
Of course.
You thought that was an educated decision? The victim is taking a stand and pointing her finger and saying, he shot me.
Victim who been lying.
Lying about sleeping with him in interviews, not on the stand.
What?
Not on the stand.
No, you're right. You're right, though.
There's one thing to lie at an interview. There's another thing to lie on the stand.
Well, on the stand, I ain't gonna lie. The story was, at least from what I've seen and the transcripts I've seen, still a little bit over the place. She wasn't regardless. I usually don't believe lies, man. And on some tell you, I gotta throw a lot of bullshit out. Shorty, you telling white lies when a nigga really shot you? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, I don't even want to say this because this is gonna be like the VladTV clip on some Ari Spears shit. It's like, if I was like an undercover gay nigga, right? And like, I was fucking this gay nigga and then this gay nigga shot me. I'm not gonna be like, yo, just like, and I wanna report that he shot me. And be like, well, why was y'all in a Motel 6 at like 3 a.m.? Nah, Nah, I'm gay, man. I was fucking him and he shot me, bro. Like, I'm gonna tell you the whole truth. Like, I'm telling, like, what are we doing?
This is going viral right here.
Yeah, but we're getting like, yo, nah, he just randomly shot. Like, yo, why? You could tell the truth about this, but you could just lie about this one thing. All right, man. Yo, this is a lover's quarrel, man. I see what's going on here. Y'all beefing, y'all doing subliminal stuff. Tory rapping about, yo, why you wear all your chains on my birthday? She's on some shit like, yo, she beefing with her friend over penis. Like, yo, come on, man. Yo, listen, man, throw it out. But, you know, hey, listen, the jury said what they said. You know, hopefully, you know, I see a very hard path for him to get out. He has 2 appeals. One of them is not looking too well, and the other one's always been a Hail Mary. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, the writ of habeas corpus is you gotta, you know, it's usually, it requires the Attorney General in California to say, hey, did you take away the right of someone, which obviously is his freedom, did you take away his right unjustly, unlawfully, without cause? And they have a trial that that the attorney submitted his brief and said, well, we went through all these things. We went through these things and, you know, it pointed towards the decision that was made, and that's why he's not free. So that's a really long shot. Obviously, he's going to say, well, you know, they admitted this, they didn't do this, they didn't do this. And then, of course, the next one is the appeal for a new trial, right? So he wants to do a new trial, and he's pointing out specific things in the trial that wasn't, you know, when they preserved the record through objections and other things, it wasn't done up to par that he had a fair trial. Again, I think he has a better chance with the second one, but he's still pushing the line for it. I just think it's a tough path.
Now, you and Iggy Azalea were going back and forth, and you accused her of paying Tory's legal fees. Is that true?
Listen, man, I'm not going to... I've learned after this damn deposition. So I don't like when people get me out of character, because, like, I'm liable to tell the truth. I'm liable to really, like, just say some shit you ain't even really want to hear now.
Well, I mean, is there anything wrong with that?
Well, you know how it is. All these chicks, they rock with Tory, but they got to act like they're a woman's woman. You feel me?
I mean, Iggy doesn't really have a music career anymore. She's retired from music.
Yeah, but, like, these women care about some public image, and it's, you know, when they don't want to be seen as supporting the person that is whatever, right?
Really?
Yes.
I guess.
Yo, women flame other women for that.
Okay.
That's a fact.
I
Anytime we've seen a woman come out and they assume, or when it's men, they're like, oh, y'all just misogynistic, right? Obviously, a false label, but they have no problem saying that. Yeah, I just heard through the grapevines that was, but I was just confused, like, yo, like, why are you get into it with me over some stupid stuff? And again, it's like tone, though. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, like, Iggy was talking to me like she was Jim Jones. Gangster, like in the DMs talking crazy.
What was she saying? Was she threatening you?
Well, not like physically and shit like that, but she's talking crazy. Like, I ignored her.
What is the craziest thing she said?
What was she saying? Like, yo, you lazy piece of shit. This is why I did. Like, this calling crap. I'm like, yo. Like, the whole time, like, yo, you ever look at your phone and you gotta, like, look around and be like, yo, I re-scrolled, I backed out of the message. I couldn't even believe. I'm like, yo, this I know her OnlyFans money is hitting, because there's no rapper who even talks to me like that, male or female. Like, she was talking crazy. I did talk, which, by the way, every time I'm realizing I talked to somebody else, they said, oh yeah, she talked crazy like that to me too. I'm like, nah. She must be done with music, because the way and she's up, I think. I think she's up off that OnlyFans, whatever, feet pics, you know, selling some camel toe pictures, like whatever, she's good. But she was talking to me crazy, and I didn't respond. And you know me, I love to respond, because we gonna have content for that day. But I didn't respond. The reason why I didn't respond, she was just saying certain things about Playboy Cardi that was not public knowledge. We've never heard these things. And I was confused with her saying this to me, because I also felt like she was trying to get me to reiterate these things to possibly throw this guy under the bus. We're in an era now that we realize is believe women stuff is a lot BS, so we got to take it on a case-by-case basis. But if this person ain't even down to say it herself, and she over here telling me on the hopes I say it, hell no, I'm not going to say it. And it's not defending him because he a cool guy and I'm cool with him, but it's just, listen, I know how people try to use the mouthpieces, right? So I ignored her. I come back like a day and a half, 2 days later, open my DMs again. I'm thinking, all right, it's going to eventually get to the bottom. I'm like, yo, she going to go back to selling feed pics and whatever she got going. She be doing some crypto stuff. All right, let her do her little finesses. She back again, talking more gangster. I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, yo. So at that point, I finally responded and, responded publicly as well. And, she said whatever she said. And, it's a tricky situation because it's like, it's like beefing with your ex-baby mama or something like that, like your ex-girlfriend, like, and she could say something. I don't want to do that, especially when you're not even just talking to me about me. You're trying to talk about this other person. You're not talking about, like, the thing she's saying to me ain't about me.
Right.
She's saying it, well, do you know this about your man? The person you support, he is da-da-da. I'm like, yo, so how do we, all right, so that's why I was trying to ignore it, but that's why when I finally did respond, I also shut it down quickly because that wasn't a goal. It wasn't a goal of mine to get her to attack somebody else who probably was mine. You know why? Because I've had women who randomly, I'm like, how did I get in the group chat, huh? You know what I mean? And it's like, I didn't want to be that person, so I tried to be the bigger person than that. But Iggy, calm it down. You gotta watch your tone, man. Like, you gotta remember, you was getting booed off Swave show. Like, you can't talk this crazy to everybody.
All right, so let's just say Iggy tries a different approach.
Yeah.
She offers to have sex with you.
What? Nah, I'm not fucking my man's baby moms. Nope. You ain't casting me that trick. I don't care if he says fuck her. I don't care if he says, yo, I hate this bitch. I wish she died. No, I'm not doing it. You know why? Yo, let me tell you this. You gotta stay out of situations like that. Hell nah, never. Nope. I'm telling you.
Ass is fat though.
It don't matter. I'm not doing. You see, but I got different morals than rappers. When I see 3 rappers share the same baby mama, I say these niggas are really soulless. There ain't enough women, or not only are they nasty, but damn, there's no like respect. Vlad, if me and you could get $1 together and we could even just be business partners, not even friends, just business partners.
Yeah.
I don't want no woman you've dealt with.
Likewise.
If we're in an industry, say I'm an NBA player, I'm clearly not, but let's say I'm an NBA player. I don't want none of their girls. When I see men with all the power, reach, and money go for the same little subsection of women, it's a little bit odd to me. And you know what I mean? Also, this is why I realize rappers are constantly in turmoil. Half of these niggas are beefing over a girl. Now, they won't say it, because you ever see 2 niggas fight? It's really over the girl. But they gonna be like, nah, yo, I ain't beat that nigga up for the girl. It's a principle. Y'all niggas start disrespecting me. No. You know exactly why you did that. It started over pillow talking and a girl, and that was your girl, that was your LA girl. Every time you go there, you smack it, but then your other man's with her. And then you kind of feel away like, yo, I brought her to one of his parties, his release party, like, Now you turn into other things. Now when he hit you for a feature, you acting weird. Now you're like, I got to get my get back. Because I always say this is the thing about rappers. They compete with very silly things. Yo, I'm the first nigga with a Ferrari truck. 6 months later, everybody has a Ferrari truck. I got this. It's the I got this Olympics. Everybody gets it because usually most of these things cost hundreds of thousands, and the rappers who are going to be in the competition, they got millions. So all it takes is a purchase. You know what then becomes a thing when everyone could purchase something? Because put like this, the competition ended like, yo, I got this Lamborghini that could fly. It's a one-on-one. None of y'all can have it. Game over. There's no more competition.
Right.
But everybody eventually gets the same thing, so you got to find another way to compete. Yo, I'm cracking this girl and she's the baddest. And you know what everybody gonna say? Well, I could crack her too. They did it with Lori Harvey. Niggas is rapping about it. I got her on the wish list. Like, everybody wanted her, right? Like, to me, I thought that was crazy. I'm like, well, if that's Future's joint, well, actually, Future wasn't with her yet. But, like, she was dealing with some rappers.
Yep. A lot of rappers.
And then we hear that Justin Combs and Diddy was...
Yep.
Come on, bro.
Yep. Well, I mean, speaking of rappers fucking other people's girls,
Yeah.
you actually put out that Offset fucked Chris Sean, Ari Fletcher,
What's up, man?
Sweetie, 10 bitches from Starlets. And he said there's 2 more names that I don't even want to mention. When I heard those names, I was flabbergasted. So, in our usual fashion,
Yeah.
you know how you and I rock,
Yeah.
I want you to tell me those 2 names. I will beep it and blur out your face, but I will react to those 2 names.
No, I gotta remember the 2 names. Because honestly, when I said this, first of all, the names I even said, I didn't know nobody knew. So I thought, like, I'm a dude at the end of the day. So, like, yeah, of course, like, yeah, I talk my shit, and I guess what we do kind of is gossip, but, like, I'm not, like, knowing who's everybody's baby mama and who did what, whatever. So I just thought everybody, I'm like, yo, I thought everybody knew this. So when I said it, I didn't know all these, like, female pages were like, what? I'm like, oh, fuck. So I broke some news, I guess.
2 names.
Then
Let's
I
hear
felt
'em.
bad. No,
Two names.
Hold on. Who was it?
Do you want to play you back the clip real quick?
No.
See if it jogs your memory?
I'll tell you after this or something. And also, Offset's been through a lot, man. Let that nigga chill. No, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, I actually ran into Offset last night.
Offset, cool.
He was kind of standoffish with me.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. Because I did the Migos' first interview. Now, he was locked up at the time, but then I did an interview with him, myself. But when I saw him last night, because he was getting off stage, whatever, and everyone was like, he was crowding around, I'm like, yo, Offset.
Oh, no, we went by his dressing room. You should have said hi to him. He was in a jovial mood then.
No, he wasn't in a bad mood. I was just like, oh, Offset, Vlad. She's like, yeah, I know who you are. And then that was it. That was the end of our conversation. It was like, oh, shit, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, you see how Tusi, responded to me? Did you see how, OG3 responded? You hugging? See how Birdman responded to me?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I know who you are. And he just...
Must have posted something.
I don't know. I don't think so. Who knows? Who knows?
Offset doing good, though. Killing on tour. He had his daughter out there last night. It was good.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brought his kid on stage with the headphones.
Yo, him and Cardi B got some beautiful kids.
Yeah.
Beautiful kids. I think that was baby culture. Is she still a baby?
I don't know.
They've been together for a while, man.
Yeah.
Or they were.
Well, Diddy,
Yeah.
what is the sentencing date? Let me see. Hold on. Let me look this up.
I think it was the 23rd, ain't it? Or is it the 3rd?
October 3rd. Ooh, by the time this comes out, he'll get sentenced. Because today is the 30th of September. The prosecutors have recommended 11 years. And of course, Cassie has to chime in, wrote a big letter saying she can't sleep at night. I guess that $30 million isn't helping her sleep. How much time do you think Diddy will get?
3 years. 3 years. He's gonna spend 15 months in there. He's already served a year.
Yeah.
So he spends another year and half of a year, but he's gonna get transferred to a halfway house. 3 years would be the, hey, I'm not being soft on this crime. The middle of that, and I'm throwing the book at this guy. 11 years is preposterous. Preposterous. And the idea, like when you read what the prosecutor said, it was stupid because they're claiming that even though he was convicted for prostitution, not sex trafficking, which includes sex by fraud, force, or coercion, and he wasn't convicted of the RICO statute, he's convicted of prostitution. The main thing in their letter is saying, well, one of his accusers fears for her safety. Y'all said he was innocent of the things that would be dangerous or where he was either using force or threats. So I think it's BS. I think they're trying to get like some type of win. I think they're looking at like a negotiation. Let's recommend 11. If he gets 5, it's a win. But I think the judge, who's a fair judge, is going to give him 3. And
I agree.
He's going to get, by this time, it's already did a year. He serves 15 more months.
Yeah, man. I just dislike Cassie more and more as time goes on.
don't
The
dislike
fact
her.
that she wrote that letter telling about how scared she is and how bad she had it and all that type of shit, man. Let me tell you, I interviewed 5 of the male escorts and they all told me a story completely opposite from what she
I
just
think
said.
the prosecutor is pressuring
These
her.
are guys that are actually there engaging in sexual activities for multiple days, weeks, months, sometimes even years. I'm not fucking buying it. She was with it. She liked the lifestyle.
Yeah, but I don't think this
she
is her
liked getting
saying it.
peed on, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I think this is her boyfriend and her husband and the prosecutor is pressuring her. I think they know she was a star witness, and I'm pretty sure. I know you might say like, well, how could they pressure her? She's like, I'm pretty sure they've reminded her a couple of times like, we brought this case because of you.
Yeah.
So even in our defeat, you got to help us get what we could get the scraps.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think she hates this guy so much, and all the money in the world is not going to help it. I think she wants to see him dead and mutilated by dogs. And, some sort of
Impossible,
grisly
Vlad.
kind of end. That's what I think.
Shout out to my peoples, Lauren, Colin, and my man Sean G, who they were in court every day. They said, genuinely watching the Cassie testimony, even when they asked her that final question, they said, "Do you love Sean Combs?" And she didn't. Instead of outright saying no, she says, "I love the moments we shared." I don't think she hates him like she wants him dead. I think she is probably a bit bitter. I think she's resentful, and she thinks she probably wasted her time. But I don't think she's like, I hate this guy that I want him dead. I don't think so.
Well, agree to disagree.
I think the prosecution and her husband had to listen how one guy they had an Atlantic they had a all-star freak off. If I'm the husband, I gotta sit there y'all had an all-star freak off with my wife, dog. Like that was tough.
Hey, you married that.
No, you're right, but again,
You married that.
But again, let me tell you this: it's lifelong, not only therapy and coping that's needed from all of that, from everybody involved. Like Diddy's gonna need therapy too, right? Like for the lifestyle he was living and whatever, for him to come back and not get back in the same, he needs some therapy, some sexual therapy, literally, and now some Ludacris song. Like everybody needs therapy in that situation because I do think Cassie is scarred. Like again, now I think we look at it easy, like 30 million, you should have been good. Honestly, I think she'd be kind of singing the same story if she ain't get the 30 million.
Life is scarring. Everyone gets scarred. No one leaves the way they came in. I got scars. I've had stitches. I've had permanent damage done to me and so forth. But at the point that you get paid for what it is that you try to get paid for in a lawsuit, that's it. You've won. Things have been evened out. This is what compensatory damage means and so forth.
The only thing I say to you is that I think you're looking at a dollar amount and you want her to draw it even, and just the reality of anybody who has ever felt they were wrong is that we're looking at how much money it is. It ain't never like that. So
kind of is, if you look at it like that.
Yo,
it's
put it
not
like
like
this.
that if you feel it's not like that, but
Vlad, before this, we just looked at her as a washed up, fell off artist. Now we look at her as the epitome of getting trains ran on you. Like publicly, when she goes out, like when she sees someone be like, "Hey, aren't you Cassie?" The first thing that hits that frontal lobe is that, oh shit, she heard about all this shit I did in this trial. That you again, I'm not saying
something? If you didn't threaten to do a tell-all book and then get $20 million out of Diddy,
I'm not
another
saying I
$10
feel
million
bad for
out of Intercontinental, no one would have known about this.
No, I'm not saying
we didn't know about none of this shit until you wrote about it yourself.
I'm not saying
you laid it all out in the lawsuit.
I'm not saying I feel bad for her.
I'm not going to feel sorry for this particular situation.
Okay, all right, cool, you're right, and I don't feel bad for her either. But when you want her to make like George Squits, like, just make it even and be like, not write a letter. If I stuck you up for 30, like you're trying to use some 40-year laws, probably like, yo, don't go too far in victory.
Exactly.
No, there no mercy. Like, what the hell? Like, if she could throw a banana at Diddy in court, she would have. Like, again, you want her to be like, all right, enough is enough. Enough ain't never enough. You know why? Anytime, like, you know what I mean, like her and her husband got some intimate shit and those arguments come up, of course I can't make you come. You was fucking 30 niggas. Yo, she gotta soothe his ego. She gotta do this. Like, he might be looking into getting that surgery that homeboy got. All of these things don't happen.
We can afford it now.
All right, but
Man,
that's the point.
Listen. Okay, all that
She's
is
an
cool.
op for life.
Listen, all that is, I get it. But look, man, you go from living in your parents' house with your bum-ass personal trainer boyfriend. You're not working because you've never worked.
Hey, I've been looking
Cassie's always been a bum. Let's just lay it all out. She's always been a bum that lived off of men. That's all she's done. She's never worked an honest day in her life.
You're describing every pretty girl.
All her musical opportunities were handed to her. She's never written a song.
Hey,
she's never come up with anything creative. She's not a great performer. She's not a star. I didn't realize she had songs with Nicki Minaj, music videos.
Yo, Vlad.
You're the biggest female rapper ever, and you still can't blow up. No, hold on. Let me finish my
rant.
rant.
Let me finish. Let me get it off. Land that plane. Go ahead.
You go from being an absolute bum, no work ethic, no talent, nothing, struggling, barely able to afford Coach because your dad, your dad got a little bit of money but not a lot. Your husband doesn't make nothing. You refuse to work. Mm-hmm. To really, for the rest of your life, you could live anywhere you want. You could fly anywhere you want. You could buy whatever you want. You never have to worry about ever supporting yourself or your two kids. Your kids are going to live their lives without having to struggle. Your grandkids are going to live their lives without having to struggle. You could create foundations. You could buy buildings. You could buy businesses. You could do whatever you could put on other artists. You could donate to women's charities and so forth. You could do so much with $30 million. That's $30 million with no taxes because it's a personal injury lawsuit. And in those cases, there are no taxes. You got $30 million clean. Your life is going to be so dope until the day that you die. Get over this shit. Get over this bitterness of, no, don't let him out. Remember when he was when he got, convicted? Don't let him out on bail. Let me write this letter, another letter before he gets sentenced. Yo, you're being a sore fucking winner. You won. You won in life at this point, Cassie. Yes, you might have to deal with a little bit of uncomfortability, but you've won in life. Ask any fucking human being on earth. 30 million versus being embarrassed in public and around your family members sometimes. Which do you take? There is almost no human beings on earth that would turn down that 30 million.
One thing I'll say though to you, Vlad, when you describe at least the first part of your soliloquy, is I have a video on my Instagram page. I said, I see people judging Cassie. Most of these chicks is Cassie. Most of them. When you describe most of these chicks that got some shit, not talented, lazy, they only look good. That's why I can't really.
It's not true. No.
The majority of bad bitches.
Oh no, bad bitches. But I'm talking about women who are successful in the music industry.
The majority of women who are attractive. And by the way, we are attracted to women like that. We want the baddies. They're usually lazy. They're usually bums. Like again,
sometimes
we're taking it out on her. When there's mad Cassies out there.
I understand that.
They just not gonna let Vlad piss on them because you don't got $2 billion. But if you had $2 billion, it was like, yo.
Piss away.
Yo, piss away. Yo, they're just like Cassie. I'm telling you, all these chicks, yo, I could look on when I go on Instagram, it's like I'm in the Matrix with these bad bitches. It's like, I just see, it's like Mr. Anderson with them. I just scroll from page to page. You not did it. You think these chicks, I know, listen, most of these chicks, that's why I say I can't hate her specifically. Because you put all these other women in this circumstance, hey, listen, you're with a billionaire. It's piss time. The chicks who's on the gram hating, like, that's what they used to do with the Dubai shit. Like, they would hate, like, nah, I wouldn't, until they hear what they gonna get. They're like, oh, come on, man, yo, you ain't take a laxative, did you? Like, yo, all that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't hate Cassie specifically. I just know us men, we crave a type of woman that fits her archetype. Because let's be honest, why Diddy didn't go find a school teacher? My mama be telling me, yo, Ack, why don't you go date a school teacher? I need a bitch home my time. So I can't have her working a 9 to 5, mad busy, talking about she tired from them little toddlers stressing her out at school. Nah, we want to go to Miami. Oh, I got to see if I got any paid time off. Bitch, it's better if you don't have a job. So you know what the bad bitches do? They don't got jobs.
Yeah.
They wake up, they know what, they wake up, they're like, you know what? Can I make my lips a little bit better? I wonder if I got like this amount of injection. That's what they think about all day.
Right.
Why? Because we just want the final product of a bad bitch. And if they got to go from meeting to meeting, they got to go hair to hair, wake up early, they got to put their hair in a bun, that shit not going to look good. These chicks is, I ain't gonna lie to you, I see more girls go to the gym than niggas. Because, well,
True,
they fake going to the gym though, but
Yeah.
they go to the gym and get surgery. They do it all. But they realize when they're attractive, ain't no job gonna pay better than your looks if you deal with it right. And then now, when I say all these girls are Cassie, we're just on a range or it's a spectrum. Some girls, a billionaire don't want you. Some girls, they'll try to put their morals in to be like, yeah, I know, of course I wanted a rapper, but like, I can't do the thing where he just openly cheats. Some girls is like, I don't give a fuck if he cheats. Just don't embarrass me. Then some girls is like, you can cheat in front of my face as long as like you just call me the girlfriend. They're all the same. And what usually happens, they're all good with it until it's like the last train to Paris, literally. When the show is over and the confetti falls, oh, we gotta clean this shit up? Yes, that's a problem. So when I look at Cassie, I don't get mad at her specifically. I just know that, and any woman who listens to this, you either not bad enough or, I don't know, like, and there are exceptions. There are exceptions because there's some beautiful, hardworking women. But in 2025, go look on Instagram, man. You can't, my new thing when I'm talking to women, and I be DMing or whatever, yo, where you work at? Man, they gonna tell you it's like a shell job. It ain't even a job.
Shell job.
It's not even a job, yo. Like, these chicks ain't pursuing no career.
Yeah.
Yo, plus, these chicks will tell you, one of these chicks told me a real job. I ain't trying to say too much to make sure she can figure this out. Yo, the chick was on vacation every week. She said, I don't work in the summer. I don't work in the summer. Come on, man. That's Cassie. That's Cassie.
Well, Young Thug is on a whole apology tour
Yeah.
after all his personal phone calls, or the jail phone calls, got leaked. And you actually said something interesting. Because when he first came out, he kind of played with the gay thing a lot. He wore dresses. He was saying, I think it was smoking dicks or something like that. And, he was calling people like darling and all that type of stuff. And he never really claimed he wasn't gay. And you said how basically the gay community kind of flocked around him a little bit. They embraced him.
Yeah.
But now, when he's doing interviews, he's basically saying like, yo, if I find out that you're a snitch or you're gay, I just can't look at you anymore like a real man. And now he's trying to distance himself from the whole gay thing. Now what was interesting is like around that time, I was doing a lot of interviews and I was talking about the whole gay thing. I remember I interviewed Adrian Broner, of all people, and I was talking about the whole Young Thug thing, and he's like, no, Young Thug's definitely not gay because we fuck some of the same girls, right? And I remember Young Thug like reposted it. It was like, yo, my brother, Adrian, thanks for, shouting me out like that. But now he's kind of dissing the gay community. And you've had some things to say about this.
Yeah, no, it's not necessarily dissing the gay community. He's distancing himself from that image. I think the mystique is done with Thug. Like, that ambiguity is what fuels these guys' like image that usually gets a lot of the allure from fans. A lot of time fans are stuck trying to figure out, why is this guy so great? Like, let's be honest. And for people who are watching me, like, say Playboy Cardi or say Uzi or whatever, when these guys were growing up in New York for Cardi or growing up in Philadelphia for Philly, like, do you think he was there on doing some devil worship stuff? No. A lot of stuff, and it's not that they're well aware that with intrigue come more excitement. And when Thug was, really, like, he spent half of his career kind of being this, like, person who you couldn't figure out. So you had to make up what you thought about him. Oh, he's supposedly super gangster, but he could wear a dress and da-da-da-da. The whole mystique is gone, but it's gone because of something that he really cares about, which is his street reputation.
Right.
And I think that's kind of, it's killed him as an artist, because the mystique shit is done because he's over-explaining now. Yo, I don't like this, I don't like that. Like, when he wore a dress, he bothered to explain nothing. They said he snitched. He's been on an apology. He's been on a campaign tour. That changes how people see you. And I don't think it's necessarily good for him. Actually, I hear his numbers about to come back. I don't know if they hit the quick credit card finesse. It ain't looking too good.
Right. I mean, YF and Lucci outsold.
I don't think he outsold him, but he was performing better for a few days on the chart, on the Apple Music charts. But I think it's going to come back lower than Gunna's last project, which I think that's going to be the interesting thing.
Oh, yeah. So, Gunna's bigger than ever now.
Yeah, but that was supposed to be Thug,
Yeah.
Thug is 2 of 2 in terms of rappers we thought that was going to come back and get just universal love and their career was going to go to the moon after jail because people respect the real and respect whatever. And we saw it with Bobby Shmurda, the right moves just didn't exist. Probably other things that played a part of it. I always say with Rock Nation and whatever with Bobby. But when it came time to for Thug, man, I've never seen somebody fumble like this. Like, this is, it's to the point, like, at first when I was talking about all this, I like the angle, not if he snitched or not, is he a hypocrite? Because I think street dudes are the biggest hypocrites. I think they all have someone who cooperated that they don't talk about, or they don't stand on actual principles. That's why I encourage anyone, don't go in the streets, because it's rules for some, not for all. Like, and the rules are only meant for the crash dummies. This is why, like, even watching him and YF and Lucci, like, piece it up, I'm like, I like seeing that. Because what we've seen in the last 90 days is clear messages to young kids. Stay out of the streets. There's really no code. This idea of a street code, there's no code. And the second thing is, you get to realize that when it's all said and done, the crash dummies die and they go to jail. And then the bosses, they will dap it up like ain't nothing happened. And they gonna hit you with what you expect us to be for life? You're doing life, and you're dead. Just if that don't convince people, let them rock. But other than that, I love Young Thug, but I wish he preserved some of the mystique that we used to have of him, because now it feels like I kind of look at him like I'm just a average artist trying too hard to show an image that we're not even going to believe anymore.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was never really a huge Young Thug fan in terms of his music. But you're right. I think the mystique
just done.
And the just the secretness of it, and you didn't quite know who he was. He almost never did interviews, and you didn't really get to hear him talk and so forth, and he really expressed himself only through the music. Yeah, I think there was an allure to that. But now, you heard him be a chatty patty and talk shit about all his so-called friends.
I should have stood on that, though. Should have said, man, I said it, and what? They not gonna be mad? Why y'all mad? But I think he did so much explaining, and that's the thing. Even, if you listen to his interview, even talking about the cooperation shit, that's what I said. The worst thing that happened to him is, sometimes with these artists, like, let's take it off artists. When I'm in a back and forth online, I'm always trying to figure out what somebody cares about, because that's how you gotta attack them, right? I remember saying this to Adam. When me and Adam was going at it, I was like, It's like, I thought you didn't give a fuck about nothing. Because he had brought like one of my exes up, and I was like, dude, what are we doing? And I was like, if you don't think that's an issue, like, what do you care about? And I remember one time he had called me, and he was just like, hey, Ak, I forgot what it was, but I was like, oh, you do care about something. Good. Because that's all of our weaknesses. And I think with Thug, from 90% of men, calling a man gay is a weakness. That's how we'll crash out. Like, yeah, these guys are gangster, they have a gun on him, but if they walk in, they be like, man, this gay ass nigga right here, he might shoot you and go to jail for life just off of that.
Right.
That's what they care about. That ego and it's fragile. With Thug, he was letting, I always said this, I never talked to Thug until 3 days after them leaked calls. I used to be online clowning.
Oh, you guys talked?
Yeah, he FaceTimed me.
Oh, okay.
But he was about to go, he was going to go on Instagram Live, but then he didn't. He just did an interview. But I said, the kryptonite for Young Thug, and he's doing a bad job of hiding it, is his desire to be seen as the ultimate street nigga. He cares about it. He cares about some of these, like, you know, and I thought maybe he was bleeding into certain things, like, oh, it's just, he cares about, like, loyalty. But no, he cares about the street shit. Because the moment they attacked him about cooperating, everything fell apart, and we started seeing him, and this is why, like, I like Thug, and I want to support him now, because he seems so docile. He seemed like he's a man that's broken.
Yeah.
And this was a man that could not be broken by gay allegations, by people saying X, Y, and Z. Like,
Even going to jail.
Yeah, even go to jail.
Even the RICO.
But what broke him was doubting his street reputation. And I said, the streets are a hell of a thing, man.
Last question before I let you go. Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Now, this is going to be on November 14, 2025 on Netflix. Mm-hmm. According to betonline.ag, the odds are Gervonta Davis minus 200, meaning that he has twice as much odds to win.
Yeah.
And Jake Paul plus 153. Who do you think is winning this fight?
It's going either one. If there's a knockout, it's going to be Jake knocking him out.
You think Jake is going to knock out Gervonta?
Yeah,
he's the underdog.
We got to look at size. We got to look at size. Now, granted, do I think Gervonta could knock him out? Of course. But what people don't realize is that, you know, you got one guy who's a damn near heavyweight, and then you have another guy
He is a heavyweight.
Well, I don't know if he's going to be weighing in as a heavyweight for this fight. I forgot what weight they agreed on. But regardless, if it goes
227 pounds.
Say it?
He's 227 pounds.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what he's weighing in on.
Against Mike Tyson.
Yeah, no. He's weighing in something different. Yeah, it's no way they're letting a 227-pounder fight a 130-pound guy.
Gervonta Davis. Let's take a look.
Yeah, just look at weight limits. I think it's like 190.
195.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to go down 30 pounds.
Yeah. I still think that's borderline. I think 200 is still heavyweight. So, but I think it's borderline.
Yeah, right there in the bottom.
Yeah. So, you know, I would imagine if it's a knockout. Well, here's the thing too, though. So I might actually just take it off the table. I might just go with Gervonta. Why? A lot of Jake Paul's power probably come from the weight. So in 30 pounds or almost 40 pounds, you got to cut. That's a lot. Now, one thing I'm gonna like about Jake, you know, Jake's a bag secure. I could see. You know, I think this is gonna be a win-win for both of them. It's gonna be a win for Jake because you don't get knocked out by this guy. If you can stand in the ring with an actual top-tier boxer,
Yeah.
and he can't knock you out, and
champion.
maybe you land a couple jabs, a couple of hits, maybe even stun him once, you've won because you're getting $100 million. That is genius. And for Gervonta,
He says he's going to retire after this, by the way.
Nah, he'll fight. He'll do it again.
That's what he said.
If I'm him, I'm selling. Even if I find out Jake is easy work, I'm selling it a little bit because I got to do this twice. Yeah, this guy get done twice. Every good lick deserved to be done twice. All right, cool. I guess I'm in the interview seat now, right? All right,
right.
Let's go. Listen, Vlad, yesterday, man, a good day. You went to NBA YoungBoy's concert. I'm gonna tell you why I invited you, but I gotta ask, because I'm still trying to think of the answer myself. Usually when I go to arena shows, the crowd that is there, it's not super young black teens that are. It's usually really white. I'm gonna be honest with you. I usually say every artist that once you get to that level, you have a white crowd. Birdman had said he believes that YoungBoy could be the biggest artist he's had yet in Cash Money. Bigger than Wayne.
Bigger than Drake?
And bigger than Drake.
And Nicki.
What do you think?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Because Drake, Nicki, and even Wayne to a certain degree have all become pop artists and have really cemented themselves in the pop arena. Wayne's biggest song, Lollipop, it's a pop song. Drake constantly drops pop records, and Nicki drops a lot of pop records. YoungBoy's never really done that. YoungBoy's made songs that he rocks with. These songs really never even hit the charts. But he has this rabid underground fan base that eats it up. And it's great. He has a career that I think all these guys and girls envy. I think they would all love to be a YoungBoy where they don't have to worry about who the producer is, who the feature is, how hard this is gonna hit the charts, what my first week's numbers are, and going on. He doesn't even do interviews. Does them every so often, right? Oh, I gotta do this promo run. I gotta do Jimmy Kimmel, and I gotta do this. I gotta do the Breakfast Club. He doesn't really care because he's doing what's been working for him since day one. So I don't think that he'll ever get to a level where he's an international pop superstar like a Drake, like a Bad Bunny. We just talked about him. I don't think he'll ever get that, which will limit the overall just size of him as a artist.
Do you think it's the music or do you think it's the marketing?
I think it's the music.
Really?
I think he makes kind of underground music, which is cool. People obviously rock with it. But I only knew a couple of songs. Like No Smoke was my favorite song, and I've heard a few others, the other songs, but he doesn't make that type of music that's like a Taylor Swift, that type of thing, whereas the Drakes and all of them, they do.
I heard a different take of this.
Okay.
So the take, and this is actually from his manager. They said, hey, listen, he releases music so well. They told me this while they were on Atlantic. Our marketing budget is promoting a song from 3 albums ago. So what happens is the music is already old by the time promotion catches up. So it's not like a traditional artist. It's basically saying he hurts himself by dropping too much. That's why you don't see bigger songs. Because if he didn't drop that much and you allowed an album to last for a year, right? Like he just dropped one and he played me another album.
Right.
So I'm wondering how much is that, like, for example, his tour, he made the charts this week for the first time in 3 years. One of the songs that the tour, and it's literally made the charts just off, it's the song everybody plays when they're posting his tour.
Exactly. But none of these songs are going to number one like the other artists that you mentioned.
Yeah, but they're not working them.
Working them or not, some songs just bubble up on their own, and then the label will catch the momentum of it and push it even farther. Like these songs are not bubbling up into the top charts. Yeah, where on the charts? What number?
It's at 90. Debut at 90.
90. Artists as big as YoungBoy doing these types of stadiums, and he just got number 90 on the chart is a little crazy.
But he's dropping 40 songs every 2 months.
And that's cool. And that's working for him, and he's figured out the algorithm for what works for YoungBoy, right? And that's dope. I think YoungBoy has an enviable career. I know that every artist just wish they were YoungBoy and have the flexibility and the creativity, the uncaged creativity to just do whatever he wants, to work with whoever he wants. Like, he's not strategically trying to figure stuff out. Like, who produces YoungBoy? He doesn't have any of the big producers working with him because he doesn't care.
He got his guys, just his guys, yeah.
His guys. Now, those guys are not hit makers like a Pharrell. You don't think Pharrell would work with him if he had reached out? I'm sure he would, but I don't think he cares about that. I think he has a sound. I think it's working, but it's still kind of an underground type of thing. So I don't think it'll be as big as a Drake. I don't think it'll be as big as a Wayne or a Nicki. But I don't think it really matters in the grand scheme of things. And although I feel that YoungBoy respects Birdman a lot, I think that creatively, YoungBoy is doing his own thing, and I don't think anyone could really tell him what to do.
I agree with that too. Are you surprised by Cardi B sales?
She went number one?
Went number one, 200. Well, I got to correct myself for the Nicki stands. 199.6.
Okay.
So basically 200,000 sold first week. Hasn't dropped an album in 7 years.
No, I'm not surprised. I think she's a dope artist. She's one of my favorite female rappers. I'm not really into female rap like that, but I would listen to Cardi before like a Nicki Minaj. And that's just my personal preference. It's no shot at Nicki. I think that she knows how to put songs together. I think she has a great personality. I know, she knows how to work social media. She knows how to work the interview circuit. Like, we were listening. She was on Call Me Daddy podcast. Did you watch the interview?
Yeah.
And like, I'm just gonna say this: Cardi B is the funniest rapper, male or female, in the world right now. She was talking about how important she's realized for men to have an eater, to have a girl that just gives them head, right? And she said, I fell out when I heard this. She said, a dude could have a chick that's missing a leg, but he'll still keep her around because she's an eater. Missing a leg. Like, I fell out. That shit was so funny to me. I'm not saying it right. The way she said it. She said it could be missing a leg, and I picture that. And I think she's right.
Of course you're right.
You could have some chick that looks horrible, but she does certain things.
The girl missing a leg's the biggest eater.
Keep her in the cut for years. They're like, they won't let go of these eaters. And it's just like, it's so funny, and her personality is so dope. And I've interviewed her once, way back in the day. But, she's still the same person. She never turned into something different. She never really got full of herself. She's the same chick that you first got to know, that you fell in love with in terms of her personality and her music, and she's still there. 200,000, I think, is a great, solid number. I think she's got a solid album. Not every song I like. I even said how Imaginary Players was whack. But she has other songs on it that are great, and she's doing her thing, and I'm glad that she got where she got.
Where do you draw the line? For example, judgment. Like, let's say Cardi B. Mm-hmm. Well, she promotes and markets relationships and families and her marriage. Mm-hmm. She's having a kid with another man. Mm-hmm. I think morally, a lot of men see this as, especially given some of the rumors, see this as detestable. I have a relationship with her. I try to stay out of it. But I kind of feel like if it wasn't her, I'd probably be going in. Where do you draw the line in giving your opinion on that, or do you say, well, that's her family, let me just fall back?
Well, what's detestable exactly?
Well, she was supposedly pregnant with one guy, having sex with the other guy, and then she has a baby by the other guy now.
Well, listen, as someone who's been through a lot of relationships in my life,
yeah,
I know at the end of the relationship, that's when usually you start exploring other relationships. You start getting close to other people.
You would crash out if your wife had she's pregnant with your kid, and y'all about to get divorced, and she's having sex with another dude.
What are you gonna do?
No, listen,
crash out a little bit.
Crash out.
I mean, like the relationship is over.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had relationships, long relationships that ended, and some of them ended okay, some of them ended badly. But at the end, both people are out doing their own thing. Both people, I mean, sometimes, I know that in a lot of my relationships at the end, I already got a whole new chick on the side, and, you know, we're already making plans and everything else like that. So, Cardi is someone who seems like she's really into sex, you know, and a lot of women are not. She seems like she's actually sexual. She seems like she's really into that. And seems like that's something she's embraced about herself. And the relationship with her and Offset seemed like it was bad for a long time. It's not like she woke up one day and said, I'm going to go fuck this football player. I think that things have been bad. He's had all types of side chicks from what you've said and the media said and so forth. So she's had to deal with all that. I think she found someone that she liked, that liked her. Now, he had other kids along, you know, that are going to be born right around the same time. She even said, like, you know, that's our baby daddy. We're going to make it work. And, you know, whether or not she was fucking someone else while she was pregnant, I don't know. I mean, me personally, I couldn't fuck a pregnant chick that was actually showing with someone else's baby. To me, that's weird. I'm not into that pregnant fetish thing. Now, I mean, you know, I was fucking this one chick at one point who told me she was pregnant with some other dude's baby, but she was like, it was like new.
2 months.
Yeah, like she wasn't showing at all. And yeah, I think she had just found out she was pregnant. She ended up getting an abortion. And
would you fuck a chick that's lactating, but she already had the kid, but she's still lactating? She tell you she had to like pump her titty every couple minutes.
I've had sex with women that are, you know,
but she's not lactating for your baby. She lactating for another nigga baby.
Yeah, I've done that before. Yeah, I messed around with a chick who had a baby like within like a year or something like that, but she was breastfeeding, you know, for extended periods of time, so she was still lactating. I think I actually tried the milk.
Oh, word?
At that point, yeah, just to see what it was like.
Was it like soy?
I don't quite remember, man. It was warm and it was somewhat milky, but it wasn't like cow milk.
So it wasn't like 2%?
Nah. It was just whatever, something to do in the moment. You know, but I look at that like to have these hard, fast rules and like if she does this, fuck her and whatever else, man. Like relationships are sometimes fluid, man. A lot of times there's fluid and things that you think you won't accept, and then it actually happens. You're like, well, yeah, you know, like me and, you know, Tekashi, we were talking about this, and he was like, yeah, you know, Sarah Molina, she was fucking shoddy. That's why I beat her up, blah, blah. And I'm like, really? Like, how many bitches were you fucking? Well, that's different. I was paying him to fuck, you know, and Sarah didn't know those girls. I'm like, well, but it is kind of the same thing, whether you want to admit to or not. So if you fucking 100 chicks and your girl fucks one dude and you go beat her up over that one dude, I feel it's a little bit, you know, like you're a hypocrite in a way. Now, I know that men and women are slightly different, but you're kind of a hypocrite. And if you are doing all this, you should expect that a woman may do something to a certain extent as well. And if you really want to be with her, you're going to have to just accept that. Or y'all have to change the relationship around.
Top 5 VladTV guests.
Ooh. Well, I mean, Boosie definitely has to be on the list. Boosie is definitely on that list.
We're going in order. So.
Do I have to do an order?
Yeah.
Ooh, shit. Okay, this is going to be a hard one. This is going to be a very hard one. All right, Keefe D, number 1.
Ooh, you put Keefe at 1?
Of course. That was a historically important interview.
Hold on. Well,
that was a historically important interview.
No.
That interview changed hip hop in a way, right?
Well, hold on.
The biggest rapper of all time. You have someone talking about the murder of the biggest rapper of all time.
Yeah,
and
but
then,
are you doing
and then that triggers an arrest later on?
Are you doing the guest? Are you ranking the guest or the interview?
Interview. You want guests?
Let's do.
Which do you want?
Let's do guests.
Okay, so you want my top 5 guests of all time? So how do you separate the guests from the interview?
Well, if they have multiple interviews, you just have more opportunities to judge how important they are. So okay, so imagine Boosie's one.
Boosie's one. Right. I would put Boosie as my number one guest. Me and him go back. We've been rocking with each other. It's always magic.
I guess this is a recurring question.
Recurring guest. We have a good working relationship. There's mutual respect. There's professionalism. I've seen him go through it. I admire who he is as a person. I admire what he's done in terms of his home and how he's built his career. I admire how he's a great father to all of his kids. And overall, it's like we never miss. We've never had a bad interview. And that's because both of us have put in that work. So Boosie's number one. Number two. Although we've only done one interview, I'm going to give it to Tekashi.
Okay.
I think Tekashi, coming into this interview, I was a little unsure because of the price and, sort of his history and all the craziness and so forth. But Tekashi, he came with the goods. He came in, he did not duck a single question. He was entertaining, he was funny as hell. And he addressed every serious situation, and whether you love him, hate him, whatever else, he really has been living the life that he raps about, to the point of he's about to get resentenced for beating up a guy in the mall that threatened him, and and so forth. Like the drama, like with Tekashi, the line between art and reality has always been a blur. There's never been a solid line between those two.
Yeah.
It's always been just a mishmash blur between what you see and who he really is and so forth. So although it's only been one interview and the interview's not out, I'll put Tekashi number two. Tough question, man. This is a tough fucking question. I've been doing this for 20 years now, so I gotta really dig into the.
I got some. See.
Hold on.
I don't know if you'll pick guests that maybe y'all did good or great interviews together, but y'all might not be on good terms.
Who?
Currently? Well, I think Star. You and Star used to do.
Yeah, me and Star are cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, me and Star are fine. Yeah, me and Star are actually supposed to do another interview, but his mom is really sick. His mom has cancer, and he's like her caretaker, so he can't move. And I don't want to do it remotely. I actually want to do it in person. But me and Star have been talking, and we've worked out our past differences. But me and Star haven't done something in so long that I can't really put him in that list. Shout out to Star.
What about Yayo? I feel like Yayo falls in.
Okay, I'm going to give Yayo number two.
Okay.
I'm going to give Yayo number two. Yeah. Yayo's number two because we have such a cool kind of energy and a cool sort of like back and forth with the way we do our thing. And, the viral moment, like the shut the fuck up, like that kind of became it became a meme. It became like a symbol, like you see it all the time. And the fact that we got over, because we weren't cool when we did that first interview. He was mad at me over posting this one video that he didn't like, and he called me out on it, so I was coming into it a little nervous.
Was it a video with 50 throwing him in the bushes?
Yeah, that one.
Everybody posted that.
Yeah, I know, but he was mad at me specifically for it, and Yayo doesn't just rap about it. Yayo is really Yayo. That person that is in the lyrics is really who he is. Now, that doesn't mean he's a lunatic. He's a great, nice guy. I've never gotten into an argument with him and so forth, but I wouldn't push him. I think if you push Yayo, you go get the Tony Yayo that everyone talks about. And why 50 keeps him around. If 50 needs Yayo to crash out, Yayo will crash out. Now, he's not going to send him. He's not a crash out to send to go fuck himself up. But let me tell you, if Yayo's in the vicinity of a 50 and 50 safety is in danger, Yayo will do anything. I believe that shit. So, okay, I'll put Yayo. Oh, man. I'll put Yayo's number two. Soulja Boy number three.
Okay.
Now, I'll put Tekashi. Okay. Boosie 1, Yayo 2, Tekashi 3, Soulja Boy 4, just because Soulja Boy is just another person who music and reality just sort of blends and intermixes, because I did the interview and the whole Soulja Boy challenge, the shooting and everything else like that, most people thought he was just capping, right? Until I brought in the guy who he actually shot. And then you find out, oh shit, that actually happened. Now the guy didn't die, he got shot in the ass or something, but that shit really happened. And I know Soulja Boy is like mad at me these days or not, I don't know. We always kind of flip-flop from mad, not mad. I don't really know. Soulja Boy is sort of an erratic person to begin with. But
it's getting to his time of year. Like usually after around Thanksgiving, he activates until New Year's.
Yeah.
He starts beefing. We haven't heard nothing about him in a
man,
while.
Listen, I'm grabbing the popcorn.
It's about time.
Okay, so who we got? So we got Boosie 1, Yayo 2, Tekashi 3, Soulja Boy's 4. Aries Spears, number 5. Me and Aries have kind of developed a really cool rhythm over the years. Aries is not always the easiest person to deal with in terms of his personal life and our interactions off camera.
Yeah.
But when we get into our groove, he almost compares it to Muhammad Ali and Howard Cosell, right? Where like he's Ali, I'm Cosell. He's like the way out there guy. I'm more of like the straight edge guy, but I push him to do certain things. I mean, we've been going viral on TikTok recently, which is crazy because the views on the old interviews have been going up like crazy.
Oh, really?
But people have been taking our stuff and repurposing it on TikTok, and it's been like, just going nuts. And I feel like he really is just a dope comedian. He doesn't hold his tongue. And, I've had other comedians over the years, but I'm really going to rock with Aries as like my go-to guy. And shout out to people like D.L. Hughley, who's a good friend of mine who's a regular on my show as well. But DL is really more on, like, DL is just really smart. And he's political and he approaches things. His humor is a little bit more intellectual humor. Whereas Aries is more just like...
nigga humor.
Just like out there, don't give a fuck, that type of thing. And like I said, over time, I think we've built something where it's benefited both of us. I think that VladTV has really created some incredible content, and I think that his comedy career has taken off as well because of what we've done. And Aries number 5. It's a tough question, but I think that those are my top 5.
It's a good list. It's a good list.
Thank you.
All right, Vlad.
That's what it is. Peace.